Doing good.
Are we?
I think we are live, boys.
Nice.
We're
Let's go.
live. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone and anyone. Senpais, senpais, and kohais. Welcome to the first episode of Stage Select, where we are trying to bring back a little bit of that tournament joy to your lives. You know, we've got plenty of competition with the online events, which, you know, we're going to definitely talk about today/tonight, depending on where you're at. But we're also going to be talking. I wanted to try and recreate that camaraderie that's built at events. You know, I've known Shirdel for years, and then we got to actually meet finally at CEO last year. I roomed with him, got to know him really well. I've known Vontae for years. I think I played Vontae in his first final round in one of the opening rounds.
We did.
Yeah,
we
I
did.
remembered that. I was just like, ooh, he's patient.
Yeah.
Who won?
Oh, Vontae won. I think it was Tekken 6. I was definitely well past my prime.
It was tag 2.
Was it tag 2?
I remember. Yeah, it was tag 2, and I just remember like being so nervous because I knew you were like an old school guy. So I was like,
oh,
I don't
he's
know
a thief.
what's gonna happen.
He's a thief. He's a thief. That's what those old people are. They're thieves.
Right. So I was really on guard, and I played like a tryhard, and I think it showed when we fought. Honestly.
Yeah, he whooped my ass. I just
Yeah.
moved forward. I just kept moving forward. You know, which Charlie, you and
how
I
you gotta
have
do it,
you and I,
Mike.
you and I have had a conversation about that where that's me as a person. I'm just belligerent. So,
He's having a good time. You're having a good time.
I saw what it's all about, man. Oh, wait, between you guys, is that an iced tea?
that is that is a rum, and I got fussed at, but you know what? I'm gonna say it anyways. That is a rum and Pepsi. I know
Rum and Pepsi.
Yeah, I know. I got some flack for it not being Coke, and it's just like
I don't drink either. Not a fan of carbonated drinks.
I've actually cut out sodas. I'm pretty proud of myself. I haven't cut out sweet tea though. I can't do that.
Man,
That's
I miss
tough.
sweet tea.
Yeah, right.
So much.
That's a tough
Right.
one.
Because like nothing reminds you how good sweet tea is as much as getting an unsweet tea when you're expecting a sweet tea. And you're just like,
Oh,
oh.
dude, I still like if you drink water for a while and then you drink like unsweet tea, it's not as bad. But
Yeah.
like going from like sweet tea to unsweet tea, horrible.
That is no
I
bueno.
miss it
That's
so
something as
much.
well.
We don't have sweet tea here. I miss it. I'm almost to a point now I want to home make my own.
You got to make sure you just put
I'm
a
with
lot
it.
of sugar.
A lot of sugar.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
if you're like really questioning your values, then you know you've put it enough. Maybe put in just another scoop just to make sure. But it's funny you mentioned that, Charlie, because you were over stateside,
Yeah,
probably more than you were home for 2019, or
probably.
you definitely were not home much in 2019. I remember
No,
you
I
telling
wasn't.
me about your journeys. What was that like? Like where did you go?
It was fun. Oh man, where did I go in 2019? I went to, oh man. Well, first of all, Amsterdam was like December 2018. Then I took a bit of a break to focus on like exams and all that jazz. Remember summer, that's when I really hit off. I went to a different tournament every single week in June. I went to Belgium, then I went to CEO, Belgium. Then I went to Head Stomper. No, Head Stomper was before in May. Then I went to. God, I'm gonna have to get up my Smash page to figure this out. Let me
So
look up
That's
my
how many
history.
events you went to.
so it's funny.
I went to way too many events.
Charlie, you helped me segue all over the place already. So before we went live, I was trying to let y'all know. I was hoping to do a little more research here. I was hoping to surprise some folks. I did get to do a little Smash.gg research on
Oh
Mr.
yeah.
Mr. Obscure there.
Oh.
I did get to.
Oh.
So now Vontae, after winning Tekken East, was it the Tekken East online event recently? My man,
Yes.
still waiting on that money.
Mhm.
Actually, you know what? They paid me yesterday.
Nice.
They paid me
They
yesterday.
knew the podcast was coming.
Yeah. So the idea was to
Happy to
hopefully put that towards getting a PC, but I think the responsible adult in me knows that I'm probably gonna have to wait a little bit longer. So I might just get like a part for the PC and just kind of build from there.
Mm.
Because It's
That's dope.
it's not as cheap as like buying like a PS4 or PS5.
Yeah,
Nah,
It's
you've got to be
really a
smart with it.
lot of
it's
components to it.
Oh yeah.
well, and that's. I mean, I am today broadcasting from a desktop, but this is all because really thanks to Mr. John Lasseter, Neo Xianwu. He built himself a new setup and gifted me his system. John is a
Oh,
saint.
what a bro! What a
Yeah,
homie! What a
That's
like
homie!
tight.
John is an absolute saint, and I had to do some run around. I actually was blessed to Wednesday. A friend of mine put a copy of Windows and terabyte hard drive up for sale, and I was like, let me get that. Got here yesterday. Had to go get a couple of cords, but everything works. Everything's running. So
That's tight. It's a good
That's
feeling.
good.
I am now
That's
part of
good.
the PC gang, but I will
Yes,
always
sir.
be a proud representative of the PS4 army because
Of course.
Yes.
I played for about an hour, hour and a half on PC. Maybe I need some more time, but I I don't see it's definitely a better experience overall. Load times and all that.
Mhm.
It's better quality of life. I don't know if folks talking about like, oh, this online is so much better. Like, yeah, I think the big issue is just there's so many Wi-Fi players. Um, by the way, shout outs to Shin Pushin. Giving shout outs to Obscura's best Cooney in North America. He's trying to claim best Alyssa for himself.
Y'all
I
don't
don't know
know
about that one.
Shin Pushin is the best Elisa NA right now.
Really?
He,
Oh,
yeah, I played him. I first won with Elisa,
Uh,
and he won. He won with Elisa, so that's the best Elisa NA right now. He's already claimed it.
so
damn.
this PC purity though, that's how we know we're esports now. That's because now we're gatekeeping. We're gatekeeping the folks
That's what
that
it
can't get on
seems like.
PC. I mean,
Hmm.
it's people keep trying to say, oh, it's just such a better experience overall. Get a PC. You could build a great gaming rig for $700.
Mm,
That's some people's rent. Like
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
that's
a
more
lot of
than
money.
that's
That's a lot
more
of
than
money.
rent.
It's more than PS5.
Man, yeah, I'm not too like as far as the PS5 goes. Like, obviously, I'd
I'm not
like to get it
interested right
somewhere
now.
down the line, but like right now, I'm not
Yeah.
too worried about it.
Yeah,
No, there's no games I'm interested in on there right now.
I
Not like
also
super
Wasn't
duper.
there
and I want to wait for the
weren't there some
for all the
reports about like PS5s dying or something? I heard a couple of them had a
Right.
few issues that first batch
Hmm.
PS5s,
Ooh,
but
yeah. Never get that first batch. Never get that first batch.
thought people knew by now, man. You gotta kind of wait so they can improve the
You
system. More stuff comes out.
you
Wait
always
for the
pass.
holiday sales.
You always pass on the first gen. You always pass on the Black Friday version. So that's the rule.
Always having the Black Friday.
Yeah, don't
Black
get
Hilarious.
don't get that $500 off TV because they took about only $100 worth of components out, but you're gonna be pissed which $100 worth those were.
Yep,
Hmm.
yep. So
So,
we'll see. Like I said, it's not something I'm ready for right
but
now, but
yeah, now though, we'll have to try the PS4 connection across the ocean because I'm hearing that it's pretty playable.
It's very playable. I
On
played
PC.
RIP on PC and it was 4 bars. So UK to
Oh,
California.
I really want to get a league started. I was trying to decide which I wanted to do first, a league or a podcast, and I was like, a podcast is so much easier right
oh yeah,
now. So
way easier.
I
You
would
just
You don't
find a
have to
couple
chase many
people that
people.
want to talk, and then you're good.
like I would rather do like the Dana White thing. Well, not even the Dana White thing. I'd rather do what Joe Silva used to do for UFC, where he was basically the bookmaker. He would make all the matches and set up all the stylistic differences. I love that. Like, I think I've probably showed. I think I told you, Charlie. That's how I do my brackets. Where, when I set up a bracket for like final round TFC, KIT, whatever. It's, here's the top 16 seed, and then let me see who are going to be some real good matches in there. And then then just extrapolate from that as I fill it in, be like, ooh, this could be some really fun finals for this
It's
pool.
fun. It's a lot of fun.
And just
Like
I
to make things
love
interesting.
seeing the crowds just form and like especially when it's like what's going on. It's like oh this match and it's like yes that's the match I was trying to get. And then sometimes those matches don't happen. I've had pools where it's just like who are in the finals? Oh,
Yeah,
Upset.
you have
I suck
those
at my
upsets
job.
happen.
Oh,
Yeah, upsets, man. Like you never really know, especially now with Tekken being as big as it is. You
It's
never really
huge.
know what the guy that sits down next to you to play, what he's been grinding, what he knows. It really is like it keeps
Yeah,
you
and
on your
it's
guard.
and it's like you don't know who's going to show up. Like recently in the UK, we've had a player called Noel Oki show up, and we didn't know who the heck he was, but he started beating some guys with Ling. Turns out this
Mm.
is a guy from like California who was playing Tekken Tag Arcade in like
Wow.
1999, moved
Wow.
to Japan, played Ling there, won tournaments there, and now he's in the UK and he's doing bits.
Wow.
It's like nobody
See,
heard of this guy.
That's
you
You don't
never
crazy.
know.
know.
And you're
You
in a
never
pretty
know.
pretty interesting spot in London because y'all get an international hub as a city, and so you get it's almost like how when the West Coast for the longest time they were the ones that got the exposure to the Korean players and the
Mm.
Japanese players, you know, London knew about Pakistan before the rest of the world. Y'all had Asim.
That's him. Yep.
Yep, Asim came through and was just busting ass, like
Oh
just
yeah.
whooping people, and apparently he was just telling people like, oh yeah, there are people better than me back home.
Yep. Yep. Nobody believed him
And
because he
then
didn't have
lo and
proof, but
behold,
yeah.
Well, and I remember like towards the end of Tekken 5 DR, some folks from Pakistan started posting on Tekken Zaibatsu, and they were like really aggressive, and it was
Yeah.
like we're I'm the best this and this is that and this is really good, and some people would just like dump on them, other people would like try and talk to them, and then like it got kind of quiet for a couple years, and then Assam came out,
mhm.
and the moment he was like, "Oh, there's some killers back in Pakistan," I was just like, "Oh." I've been waiting for them. I'm excited to see what the Netcode does for them because location wise, they might be able to get some quality games with South Korea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
doable. And East EU maybe as well,
So
And
potentially.
that'll be good. We get to see those players, play again in season 4 and kind of see what they've been cooking up in the lab and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
speaking
I
of
think that would
season
be pretty
four,
interesting.
Mr.
Yeah,
Vante,
yeah.
what do you like about season 4 so far?
Oh,
Do
I'm
you like
That's my
season
excited.
4? Do you like season 4? I
What's
guess
my
is a good
favorite
question.
things. I love season 4. I love Tekken, so I'm
Uh,
gonna. They could make it the most one hit combo you're dead game ever. I would still play Tekken,
I'll toast to that.
but um, I think obviously my favorite thing about season 4 is definitely Kunimi. I've been
Really?
enjoying. Yeah, I've been really enjoying playing her because I think at first I was expecting her to not really be like Yoshimitsu because anybody that's played her in Tag 2 knows she's not exactly like Yoshimitsu.
No.
But I was expecting her to just kind of be a little bit more gimmicky and crazy, but she's actually a really simple character, and those are kind of characters I kind of like. The
Uh-huh.
really straightforward, simple, no crazy execution, just pokes, offense, backdash, all that stuff. And she's really like straightforward, and I kind of play her similar to Elisa. I just backdash, poke, wait for them to whiff and punish them, that kind of thing. And it's been working out for me, and I'm having a blast with her. Her combos are stylish.
They're hella
Um,
stylish.
yeah, and the netcode's way better. Even for PS4, it is better. I
It
can't
is.
tell that much.
PS4
You
Army
know,
baby, let's go.
that's it. That's it. So I think I've been enjoying Kunimitsu the most in season 4. I haven't tested out every character yet. I haven't even played Elisa that much, honestly. But she didn't really get changed that much in season
Not
4, so I'm
much.
kind of like, it's not really anything to touch there, anyways.
Were there any
Mhm.
So
characters that you play that you saw some changes that like got you super hype, and on the flip side, any that like got you super down, where you kind of like, ah, no.
I was a little down about this. Not a character I played, but I was down about Gigas because I was like, Gigas, this is gonna be Gigas' moment. This is gonna. I'm sorry, Josh. I'm
I
sorry,
know.
man.
I thank you for understanding. Thank you for
You're a
She's
Marduk
a
understanding.
player
little
this time.
better,
You're a
but
Marduk
no
player.
I'm
statement.
back. I got to get
But
back on the Marduk train. I started playing him again. I'm so bad. I mean, I've always been bad, but at least I could get fraudulent. I don't even have fraudulent stuff yet.
you as long as you just spam tackle, you can make it out of pools at least.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
what I did at CEO. I drank a lot and I tackled and I talked. I
That's it.
talked the
That's all you got
whole
to
time. I remember after I finished the game, the guy was like, "Wait, did the drunk guy just put me out of the tournament?" And he was like, "He was like, we were talking and I just thought we were playing casuals. I forgot it was tournament." And I'm just like,
It all went according to plan. All went according
it
to
was
plan.
That's the way,
amazing.
man.
But yeah, I was really like, I thought that they would really buff Gigas, so I was kind of disappointed about
Yeah.
that because I do play him
Mm,
just a little bit. But it's Gigas. He's probably going to be low tier for the entire
probably.
lifespan of Tekken
It
7.
it was interesting
Um,
because those changes. It's almost seemed like A lot of the changes they made were almost to get him to where everybody else was, and then they added things for everybody else. So it's like, like what was the point? Like, I love the background plus, like I've heard a lot about the Eddie changes being kind of dumped on. I heard they gave him a true wall string now, which
yeah, they did.
Which, I mean, to me that's kind of scary because I mean, Vonta, you've played Sims, you know how dumb Eddie can be on the wall. You know, like home slice, little size. What was it, size step 1+4 or whatever it is?
Yeah. I know
that junk is so dumb on the wall. I hate it. I get so mad. All the mix-ups you get.
Like, crazy.
I think it's good though because like Eddie's wall combo was basically the same as his combo out in the open.
It was doo-doo.
That's true.
It was doo-doo. So, like it wasn't even, there was nothing satisfying about doing that either as an Eddie player.
No, it's not.
Like,
you know,
I can't imagine.
Like as a player, you're just like, all right, I got him to the wall. What am I gonna do? Oh, it's just my same old B&B. Okay. So.
You think like one of the balance team dudes like lost their girl to an Eddie masher at the arcade or something, and since then they've been spiteful.
Oh yeah.
Because that
100%.
I can see that. Because I mean that character's obnoxious, and they just continue to be like, well, we'll allow him to be obnoxious, but not like good.
Too crazy. No, I think Eddie's overall. He's still about the same. Not too crazy. Eddie's still going to be annoying regardless. He's going to make you guess, but I don't think he's too crazy or anything like that. Nobody's stressing about Eddie this season.
Oh hell no.
So what about what is the change that you probably was from what you've seen so far that you like the most?
Haven't touched Jack yet, but he's looking pretty nice.
I haven't even looked at Jack's changes.
Yeah. He's got like a 14 frame
looks
punish
really
now.
good.
He looks good. I don't know how good yet.
That man Marty got a 12 frame Punisher, baby.
He got a 12 frame well standing Punisher.
Not even a wall just it's so good.
And this is old T6 down back too. The chop.
Yes.
I love it.
He hits him with that Escanor hand. Seiken Escanor.
Boy.
Oh, like and then they were like, you know what? Because Gigas was supposed to be you in this game, we're gonna give you the transition to the stance off headbutt too. And it's like, oh word, that's okay.
Oh yeah, it's nice. Down 14+2 on the hit into tackle. Throw mix ups.
I'm
down 1+2.
I definitely think Marduk is a better than he was before, which is scary because he was already good. And I thought the nerf on the ground throw damage to like 35, that's fair. I mean, that's unscaled damage. That's super fair.
Yeah, that's just with a wall juggles in general.
What was the original damage on it?
40.
40? Okay.
So
I would have took 30, but you know, we'll take what we can get.
Because I mean, well, at that point you figure the guess is, am I going to have to eat the raw 40, ground throw, which if it's at the end of a long combo, that's not so bad. Well, actually, no, that's the worst. That's the worst case. That's the beginning of a combo. It's like, it's gonna suck, but better that than getting carried to another wall and having to deal with another mix-up.
Yeah.
But then with the left throw, if it's at the end of a combo, at the most he's got a couple of the dope little grounded hit setups that Charlie showed me at CDL.
Oh yeah, he's got a few.
He's got a few different things, and he's got some setups too. But like,
the
thing is the damage isn't gonna be anywhere near what that ground throw was. So now it's even with that 5 damage, it's actually evened out a little bit. Where it's like, okay, what would you say, Charlie? It's like probably like within 8 damage of it now. Where before it was like, it's clear you don't want to get hit by this right throw. If they're not gonna do the right throw, do the right throw.
Oh yeah, I'd even say the one throw is stronger overall because of the Oki alphabet. If you can get with just some grounded damage, that puts it to like pretty much the same. Yeah, and then just at the start, then you could be losing like 100 damage if you
I'm taking Marduk to infinite stage every time. No walls.
Infinite stage.
No walls against that character.
Gigas too. If you ever see Gigas, just put him on infinite stage.
Oh yeah. Always.
Of course.
Yeah. Gigas doesn't want to have to chase anybody down, so
he can
always pick him.
It's frustrating, but because you would figure like his really good lows, like they don't reach as far as some characters' backdashes.
Yeah, he's got that nice golem low now, finally, which he needed.
His lows are good for getting in.
I think they should have buffed his shoulder. Gigas, was it running 2? They should have made that come out a little faster. It's kind of slow. If they came out just a little bit faster, like if it's running 2,
That'd be
I think
dangerous
that
for
would be
me. I
really
use that
good.
move anyways. People were like, I'm a sidestep left. I'm like, that's fair, because now I'm gonna start using forward 1+2.
Yeah, but
Oh,
It's like and I don't care for my Tekken life, so you can duck and launch me if I do the high. And I'm gonna do it.
right,
Yeah, like
this man,
or I might just
how,
not do it and let you duck in my face for no reason.
how do
Unless
you
they
beat a man with nothing to lose?
now
that's it.
by having the option select ready. If you show me the option select, then I'm like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
I will. I am sorry. I apologize. You can take
Give
your
it to
turn.
him.
You can have your turn now. What about you, Charlie? What's probably the worst change you saw?
The worst change, Bob.
I love Bob changes though.
Man, why did they have to give me a 15 frame launcher?
I was so happy for Bob and Bob players that I went and I subscribed to Rukang's Twitch channel the other day. I went and gifted a sub. I
Wow.
gifted a sub.
Man,
I
you don't
tried.
have to be happy for him. He doesn't need it.
I was just so excited. I was like, oh, see, Crouch Dash 1 launches. Oh, and you got a 15 frame launch Punisher. It's just it's a high tail spin.
And down 1-0 on block. Yeah, he needed it.
What was it? What's 0 on block? Hold on, what?
Down 1, the chop.
Down 1 because that was
0 on
it
block.
was -11, I think.
Wasn't
and now
that?
it's
Yeah.
-9.
Wasn't that?
Oh,
Tekken
negative
6?
9, that's it. Oh, it's
Wasn't-
negative
isn't
9.
that-
My bad.
So it's 0 now.
No, it's -9. Sorry, I got mixed up. I was thinking.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
not 0. Good God.
No, oh, yeah.
I was gonna say, wasn't that like
Imagine
Tekken 6
no,
or
minus
Tekken
nine.
6.0?
Like,
No,
yeah,
it was
Just,
-11. Yeah, no, it's
And you're
-9.
just back to normal. No.
Oh, so it was punishable.
No,
Now it's safe.
yeah, it was -11, but he
That's
was in
it.
crouch. But
Yeah,
now
my bad.
it's -9.
Yeah, so
So
safe.
safe, and it's looking like Tekken 6 Bob again, man.
Yeah, BR Bob at the very least. Oh, and he's got
Oh,
count first hit of Hell Sweep, counter hit. If you don't commit to a second hit,
You
counter
get
hit
full,
launch.
you get full launch now, don't you?
Yeah.
Mm.
On the
Wow, I
first
didn't know
hit.
that.
Only on counter hit, first hit, yeah.
I'm not excited for seeing the Mishima's return. And Mishima, they're so snooty. Like I love
They had
Mishima
to use the one
players.
who's really got
I Mishima players. I love y'all. I really do. Y'all are just so angry. I mean, is it the carpal tunnel? Like I don't.
Honestly, it's like Mishima's. They don't want them to be bad. They don't want them to be bad.
They're the main
Mishimas,
characters.
They have to be good.
They're the main
Yeah.
characters. Harada's words. I will if I can find the interview or find proof of it or where it was mentioned. I remember reading like, oh, there was this interview where Harada basically said like, yeah, like it's the Mishima characters are top tier. We're good with that. I mean, like they're the main characters and they're Japanese, so that fits. And I'm just
Of
like,
course.
Yeah,
But
but always
Lars
going to
can't
be
be
strong.
good though.
Well, Lars is good in this season, though.
but I got to give that man credit. You know, he did say that. I don't know if I want to include Wing Chun because Itma was like, don't teach the Japanese, and then they gave us Leroy, and I'm like, that's the best loophole. That best
He
loophole
found a
right
way.
there. Like,
He found a
Find
way.
a way.
like, and they gave the man his own like theme song, and sugar. Like, he's got a dog. Like the man
He
has
has
a
a dog.
Like he appeals to all people now.
Yeah. Leroy, I feel like he's still like the coolest original character in Tekken 7.
I think it's
I know all the stuff with him being top tier and broken when he first came out kind of hurt the character a bit, but he's still the coolest character in the game.
He's cool. His design is cool.
His customs are so slick too. We've got a local
They
here
are.
who's got he's got the Pop-Tart colors on one of his Leroy's. It looks so sick. Like it's amazing.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at his changes. I heard he got the Nerf bat. I looked at the Fakugan
nice.
changes and he got
Small
he got
nerfs.
whacked.
A little bit,
Yeah,
not
but
too
like-
much. It depends on how you
I feel
play.
like he's still top 5 though.
I agree. I think he
Yeah.
still has.
I don't think they
Fakugan
nerfed
or
him,
Leroy?
yes,
Fuck him.
but
Really?
they're not.
Yeah.
They refuse to nerf the things that actually make him insane.
Exactly.
Or
Like
down
before.
3-2 and back 1+2.
Yeah.
It's just, and he still has a good down 4-1. Like he still has pretty much every tool you need in a Tekken character.
He's had a good
damage,
lows.
carry. He
Yeah,
still has
the
the
counter.
cane.
They really it seemed
Right.
it seemed that the it's interesting because if we think back to some of the promotional material they've put out during COVID, I remember them talking about the balances, and I've also heard that Michael Murray has been emphatic that it wasn't Mishima Star that came in and it was like, this is terrible. Let's balance everything, and then it's like, this is really boring. And so they tried to put a lot more emphasis on what makes characters unique. And so that was where I kind of looked at the game and it was like, it seems like they felt like they had to give everybody at least one or two new moves, like just like obligated, just what you have to do. If there's any bug fixes, of course, do that. But then it seemed like if it was a low tier character, look at some of their moves and then look at other moves with similar properties, and then look at the properties that are missing from that move. So in Gigas' case, the back 1+2, similar frames to Brian back 1. So they're like, well, on counter hit, Brian's launches. Otherwise, he gets all this other stuff. So they're like, okay, well, we'll make Gigas' launch. And it just doesn't go as far. So the little minor divergences make sense. Gigas is down back 2. They gave it +3 damage. Now, so here's the other thing here, if you think about it. Now, I think, I'm not willing to go on the record of this, but most characters now have at least a true low option that does like legit hell sweep combo type damage. So Gigas can do counter hit down back 2, dash and a down back 1+2 for 55 damage. Used to do 51. Now because of the damage buff and the counter hit boost, it does a little more. So, and I think that's something that they tried to kind of add for everyone, that everyone has some type of option to blow someone up. So I could see where it's like, okay, well these damages, where it makes sense. His neutral 4, they gave frames, so now there's actual difference between, down forward, left punch, and then just standing 3. Like, now there's actual, because before it used to knock down. They're like, okay, well now it's just +2 on hit and counter hit. Now it's +6. No, I'm sorry, +4. It's +4.
Okay.
Which is important because that forward 1+2, the true ogre horns, that they shadow buffed the range. They didn't list that, but they definitely buffed the range on it.
Oh, did they?
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. And it went from -9 on block to -5 with pushback.
What?
That's nice.
Yes, sir. And you still
That's
get
actually a really good buff.
you still get
That's nice.
You still get the 64 damage on counter hit.
Ooh.
That's your 13 frames. So now he has that explosive 13 frame option, and it's not just like, and I'm over.
That's good. Wow.
Yeah.
If I played Gigas, I would just all day
it's just Magic 4.
Just never stop doing that.
Also found out Kunimitsu is the only character in the game that can't get hit by his standard clap combo. So counter hit down forward 3 clap or the forward 1+2 clap.
She's
Really?
cool.
Yeah, that's you just do down back 3-2. If you dash up and do neutral, just standing 2 and then jab, the 2 will pick him up. 2 will not hit her. She just only character in the game that does not hit. So
Wow.
There's another DLC character with funky hurt boxes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Because I was hearing people talk in a Discord saying some back turn combos don't work on her too.
I've heard that.
So, yeah, so it's just like, what's going on?
What
with
are
these
they
DLC
doing,
characters?
man?
Yeah. So they have these, with the lower tier characters, they basically took these moves and they tried to make it more in line with other characters in the game. And then they tried to look at some of the other neutral moves and like, okay, what can we slightly tweak here without doing too much? But it really seems like the focus for balance going forward is on the character's unique properties, which was what Harada and Michael Murray had mentioned, was how they were kind of looking to, that's what made the game fun, was what made characters unique. It was the balance, it was great having balance, but in order to have perfect balance, every character would be the exact same. But in this case, they're like, what makes the characters unique, that's how they kind of started approaching balance. So, the Gigas buffs to his Golem stance, they buffed his Goliath mid, the damage on that, so they put that back up 5 damage, so that's better in the open field. Just a lot of little tweaks like that, and it seems almost constant across the board, and that's how they approached a lot of the balance changes. Where how can we, like, what made this character unique, and how can we tone that back? Like Shaheen, I noticed it was his combo damage that they toned out, because my man was doing explosive damage.
Oh yeah, Shaheen, yeah, he has good damage. especially at the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
It's
yeah.
such an easy wall combo, and it gives good Oki, good damage.
Yeah, it's good with nerf for wall damage now. I feel like that's going to help with longevity a
Yeah, but
lot.
I still feel
Yeah.
like he's upper mid at the worst in the worst case scenario.
Probably, yeah. He hasn't changed too much, I don't think.
Like he still does
Yeah.
damage. He still does everything else. Like it was interesting to see that's how they approach. Do y'all think that that's gonna like addressing the unique properties of a character? You think that's the way to go going
I'm
forward?
not too sure because, like, think about it. Like, there's no characters anymore that have a 16 frame standing launcher. Anna doesn't have one anymore. Bob got buffed. Anna got buffed. Marduk, his standing punishment got buffed. That's his like core weakness. It's good, but it's like some characters are actually losing their unique weaknesses, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
So I don't know. It's a bit of both.
that was interesting too because what also makes that all crazy is that gives Marduk a true 12 frame punish because before it was you
Yeah.
had to rely on forward 2, which did about the same damage as Jab Punisher, but it knocked down. That was the difference. Now it's like,
Right.
okay, here's a chunk of damage, and you're gonna be at advantage afterwards. And they brought back a familiar animation, with the Escanor hand, and which, by the way, I've got a sick Escanor custom, which Vontae, we gotta have to play on PS4, and I'll show it to you. You'll be like, "This is
Okay.
amazing." My man's got the axe
Okay,
and
yeah, I'll have to
everything.
check that out.
He is pretty awesome. Getting spam phone calls. Nope, you are a bill collector. But where were we at here? Lost my train of thought. Phone interrupted me. Let me go to my topic list.
You were talking about the chop.
That's right. But something else I noticed too is that like with Gigas, they buffed the damage on his 1/2, so now it's just a straight up 35, which
35
Wow.
damage on 1/2.
so it's a 35 damage 1/2. It's launch punishable, but hear me out. He has a 12 frame Punisher at 10 frames.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah, exactly.
It's true.
So I
That's a unique property.
because at 12 frames you can throw. If someone's not able to break throws and you're kind of not sure what to do, and you're at 12 frames, you're like,
I'm
I don't
like
want to get
that.
a 1/2. I'm gonna snatch you up.
Yep.
And so now he has like a true like, oh, I'm everything is at if it's -10, it might as well be -12 to me because I'm gonna do that type of damage to you.
Right. That makes sense.
So I could see those quality of life changes. It was at the same time. It's like these are quality of life changes that were due in season 3. Like,
He's been waiting for a while.
yeah. What have y'all heard anything about some of the other characters that were considered lower tier? I know we talked about Eddie, and Eddie players were Mr. Steal Your Girl, so they don't get anything apparently. Who else? Who else didn't get anything?
Lily and Katarina are the ones that come to mind. They have not
Really?
gotten a lot of love this season, from what I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not wrong.
Lily-
Yeah, some of those changes were due in season 1. You are right about that. Like it took 4 seasons for y'all to solve this problem. We're now 3 seasons ahead. Like we got new problems.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think that Lily's still no one's really scared of Lily, but I still believe personally that I think Katarina's still okay. I think
Katarina's
she's
fine.
mid tier
I think she's fine.
personally
What do you think, Charlie?
because
I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of the cat mains. A lot of the cat mains over in EU are on Suicide Watch. They're looking at Kenny. They're looking at Julia. They're looking at all sorts.
Vontae, talk them down. Why should they not? Why should they not jump off Katarina? Why is she okay?
well the thing with Katarina is that like she still does a lot of damage first of all.
Oh yeah.
That's most characters in Tekken 7. So that's not like the biggest thing. But like she's not crazy like a lot of the top tiers, but she still has the tools to kind of play solid. I think people want to be nutty with her again, and that's not really. They want 4-4-2-4 to jail again and stuff, and like we don't need that.
No.
Just
No, that's not
No.
necessary.
Just
No. Thank
jab.
you. No. Thank you.
yeah, just jab, use down forward 1,
Those
use
are
her
the-
pokes.
That sounds like let's go back to
And-
what was normal before COVID. But no, But no, normal before COVID sucked too.
Yeah, so like, and then when she's enraged now, she has, I guess, I don't know if people think that her new low is seeable or not. I don't think it's seeable. But when she's
I don't think so.
enraged, she has a mix up. It's kind of like Brian when he's enraged. You're just eating hatchet
Oh,
kicks because you don't want to duck, you know?
that's
So
Mm.
with her
true.
now,
That's true.
she has a reason to kind of force people to duck when she goes into her stance.
Oh.
Um, I think that people just kind of want to be too nutty with her, and they don't really think about the fact that she's actually more of like a backdash with punish. She can whip punish really well with her hot
Oh,
kick.
with punishments though.
Oh
Her,
yeah,
her
it's really
range
good.
is
She still has
incredible.
forward forward 2-4 too.
Hmm.
So I think
Yeah,
people want to play crazy with her, and you just need to play simple Tekken with her.
I
Again,
agree.
she's not like top tier or
Ah.
anything, but she's definitely mid tier.
So
So
would you say then that it's a matter of people not using the toolkit properly, trying to make her, make a, fit a round peg into a square hole type situation?
yeah, trying to play her and make her a character that she's not, or play her in a way that's not quite how I think she's meant to be played.
Would
I
it be
think she's
like
more so
the?
meant to be played
Would you
more
say that's like?
solid.
Would you say that's like the illicit players that are super like flying and into chainsaws all the time and just
It's
like
so
I'm
funny, like
anime?
casual players, they look at Elisa and they see her flying around shooting rockets with her chainsaws, and they're like, "Oh, this character looks broken. This character looks stupid." I'm just like, none of those moves are the good moves, you
I
know.
disagree.
No
They're
one's
hella
getting
good.
hit by the rocket punch
No,
or
they
anything
are.
like
They're getting hit by rockets.
getting hit
They're
by.
getting hit
Well,
by
actually,
rockets.
people do get hit by the double rocket punch
They do.
because they
They
always
do.
try to just sidestep. I'm like, don't sidestep it, just duck
No,
it. Don't
no,
sidestep it because I
no.
swear it tracks at max range, so
It
it's
does.
not worth.
Well, I mean
Yeah, it's not
everything
worth.
tracks Gigas, so
And he's got his own orbit, so yeah, that happens. But yeah, I think people try to play Katarina in a way that's not meant to be played, and that's why they're struggling. They want her to do a crazy amount of damage like she was doing in season one with her
Yeah.
stomp and everything.
Uh,
Just be solid, use your lows, use your pokes, make people whiff. You'll be fine. Don't expect her to be like Leroy or Bakaram or anything, but she's fine.
mhm.
Katarina's fine.
I
She's
agree
not
with that.
trash. She's definitely not trash. So that's my thoughts on Katarina right now.
She's usable. You have to work with her though.
so overall,
Oh yeah, you do have to.
would y'all say that you're pretty satisfied with season 4? I think Vonta, you said you love season
So
4.
far,
You love
yeah.
Tekken.
I love it. Yeah, no, I'm gonna love it regardless.
Hmm.
It's not perfect right now.
Definitely
Things are
not, but
definitely
it's
not
nice.
perfect. Netcode's still not 100% what we would want right now,
Yeah,
obviously.
No,
yeah.
it's
Um,
high up there
but I
though.
think overall they've done a pretty good job with making this fun. Because people are
Hmm.
having fun again.
It's
And I
hella
think
fun.
that's really the most important thing. I think that's a lost art in not just Tekken but fighting games because I feel like people get too caught up in I need to win, I need to pump out content, just fire up the game and see if you can have fun first. If you can have fun with the game, then everything else kind of comes naturally. And I think that this season has done a good job with that because people are talking about it. People are excited about the netcode.
Yeah.
Everyone, all the characters for the most part, outside of a few like Elisa, most of the characters feel fresh and different. Um, and it's just, I think they did a really good job this season. So far, it's the
It's
most
pretty good.
excited I've been going into a new season of Tekken. But actually, maybe season two might have been a little bit because that was our first
Oh, there
time
was.
getting like a new
Yeah.
season of Tekken.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had never gotten that in Tekken before. But yeah, I'm having a great time with season four so far,
Yeah. The
and
excitement came back for
yeah,
season 3.
I'm hoping
Already.
that they still look at some of the things that are kind of crazy right now and some of the things that still aren't crazy enough
There's still some work to
and
do.
keep updating it. People keep
Yeah.
supporting because we don't know how long all of this is going to last. So if
It's
online is
true.
all we got, I want this to be as fun as possible right now.
Exactly. That's just about it's about fun, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, Charlie? You think it's been made a little more fun, especially with the improvements to the netcode and
Oh, it's
everyone
so much
getting a little
fun.
love. Everyone's character getting a little bit of love at least. And do you also
Yeah.
agree about Elisa not feeling any different?
I think she's a little different. I will talk about that in a sec, but that's season 4. I think the
Ooh.
netcode's hella fun. I've been having DMs with like Shadow and Junior, and it's been like connections actually like been solid, and I can break grabs, can like fuzzy, I can low parry stuff, I can
That's
like
good.
step, I
That's
can
good.
fucking like parry can opener. That's sick. I've never been able to parry can opener online, but I can parry it now. Yeah, it's hella good. It's hella fun. I like the changes.
Do you think that there's a legitimate possibility for like Western Europe, East Coast, North American events?
Oh
online?
yeah, I think so. Like you've got to gotta take some reservation in the sense of like the people who sign up have got to realize that they can't complain when there are connection issues because it's never going to be 100% stable, right?
Would you say then at least at the very least then maybe Western Europe versus East Coast USA exhibitions?
Oh, 100%.
Nice.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's super doable.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think it's something a lot of people want to see.
If y'all can get someone from Western Europe versus an East Coast US player. And actually, let me give you a two-part question here. Okay.
Okay, go for it.
So, if you could play, so it's going to be kind of a little flip-flop here. So Charlie, for you,
Yeah.
you got your choice of, and we'll go as far as Chicago for you.
Okay.
Or you said it was 4 bars when you played Rip, right?
It was barely playable 4 bars, right? It wasn't like I wouldn't want to like compete in a tournament against Rip.
Shadow and Junior were good though, right?
Yeah.
So we'll say Chicago, like as far west. I'm sorry, as far west as Chicago. So that would include Chicago, St. Louis.
Yeah.
I think that might include Houston. I'm not sure if that's far enough east in Texas.
That's a bit too far down.
Oh, that's a good point.
I haven't tried it. I haven't tried it yet, to be fair.
I think you're probably right though, because you could probably get as far south as me. Because I
might be able to get to Florida, maybe. But Florida's like further east, right? But the south and the east might be a bit too much. If that makes sense.
Would you be able to get Kenya? Because I know they've got a Tekken scene. Cause,
maybe.
Or what? How about this? Do you think France would be able to get Kenya? Because isn't that where Akon's from?
Akon's from the Ivory Coast.
He's from Ivory Coast. That's who. I'm sorry. Queen Arrow is from Kenya. Sorry.
That's right. Yeah.
Queen Arrow's from Kenya, and then Ivory Coast is where Akon was originally from, and that's where they're doing a lot of the events now. Okay. Yeah. I keep getting them confused just because it's like I see her on Twitter a lot more. And I see Ivory Coast on there a lot. I get tagged a lot on some of the stuff there. They think they've got some nasty law players. They got a nasty. What's his name? Dragon, I think.
I think so. They've got some good players there. I'm excited to see more of that.
Do you think that the connection that with the new netcode that
I have no idea, but it's worth a try. I think maybe like with southern European countries like Italy.
Shin, Google that for us real quick, won't you? How far is Paris from Ivory Coast?
That might be a little.
Get on that.
That might be a little too far. Kenya might be doable though.
This man's going to lie to us, by the way. He's going to give me like something in kilometers, and I'm going to be like, "This is what it is." And like like in Charlie, you're going to be like, "I hate y'all. I hate you in your miles. I hate you in your pounds. I hate you in your stupid measurement systems." You do?
No, we do both of those. Yeah. We use miles and pounds. Right. We use stone. 14 pounds in a stone.
I want to use stone because that's just such a gangster way of like saying weight. Like, how can you be shamed by how many stones you are? Like, bro, your stones are too much. You'd be like, what can I say? The stones on them. The stones on them. You know what? I'm gonna do something that I didn't think I would do. You're gonna just watch my mouse fly around the screen here on the stream. I apologize. Let's see here. Paris to Ivory Coast. No, I don't want planes. I want directions.
Yeah, let's see how that looks.
Let's look at the map here.
I'm not too sure. Isn't that like Eastern Africa, I think,
so, right? About 7,000 kilometers.
That sounds possible.
And so let's see here. You know what? You said you were getting good games with Chi-Town, so let's put that there. Y'all ready for this? That is, I don't want driving directions. I just want distance now. Yeah, here. You know what? Flights. Here, we'll walk.
Why is it?
It's being difficult. But either way, it looks a lot further than 8,000 miles. You know what?
Hmm.
How far is
It's
Chicago
all.
from
I was talking
London?
about this with Mr. Ed Rapport of Trace Complete, and it's all about the undersea pipelines, right? The data pipelines. It's all about those connections, right? So
So,
East Coast is pretty good with West Europe because we have direct pipelines.
gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So Chicago to London is about 6,500 kilometers.
Okay.
Roundabout. So is Paris from Ivory Coast? Paris to Ivory Coast. You're not going to give me the answers I want. Well, it's about 7,000 kilometers. It might be possible, and that's
It
you
might
know
be.
what? I think it's in range. I think if depending on how solid the internet is in the Ivory Coast, that could be possible.
You could try the southern European countries like Greece, like Italy.
Sounds
Yeah,
doable.
Spain. We can get folks in Spain.
You could try Spain.
Is Catalonia in northern Spain?
It's southern Spain.
It is. Catalonia, Spain could
believe so.
and Portugal.
Hmm.
See who could get a connection with Pakistan.
Madrid.
Pakistan.
Like you're thinking of Eastern Europe.
Yeah,
Pakistan.
Ukraine probably has the best chance out of anyone.
And Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah, Greece and Turkey.
Poland maybe.
That's also kind of dope though, because that means the Saudi Arabian players can probably get more games with the Pakistani players.
Yeah, I matched with Federer in online a little while ago. He threw the hell out of me, so I left, but it was playable.
Let's see here. Let's see how far Pakistan might be able to reach. They'll probably. Oh, we might be able to get some Bangkok to Lahore matches.
Oh.
That would be sick. That'd be
Interesting.
super sick. They could definitely get the Middle East. Like that's definitely in range. And they could probably get the Caucasus region. You'd have to live like deep in like Eastern Ukraine though, probably to be able to play them.
I don't know any players from Ukraine.
But I think that Lahore to Bangkok, like the Thai players, that would be super sick. Like get booking all those folks to start playing them. That'd be crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting too how close Korea and Japan really are to each other. And they're just like, what this is fine already.
Oh yeah, they're good.
They're good.
They're
Yeah.
good.
I'm excited. This is like super exciting.
It
Yeah,
is exciting stuff.
I would definitely like if they're gonna do events. I think that they would have to kind of have the players maybe tested a little bit, you know, before
In
they
advance,
jump
before.
into
Yeah,
something like that, like exhibitions at least, because it's harder to do that for like tournaments. But
definitely. Yeah.
like exhibitions, yeah, they could definitely like test the connection first, kind of see if it's something that they're willing to go through. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. See
And if
how.
both players agree, hey, this is good enough, we'll make it work, then that'd be hype, honestly. I'd love to
Yeah.
see like international competition facing each other when they're both in the, right where they're
Exactly.
from.
I think West EU and East Coast NA is the most viable right now.
And you want to hear something interesting here, Charlie?
Go for it.
I'm about 70 kilometers further than Chicago, so I should definitely be in range. Also, Atlanta to London is just over 6,765 kilometers. So if I've heard several times from a lot of people that 7,000 seems to be like that magic range. So Atlanta to London could be a possibility.
It could
at least
be.
for
I think
exhibition.
Jay was playing with a few ATL guys.
So I guess here going back to what kind of got this whole conversation started was, Charlie, for you, if you got to, with your range then, with this now 7,000 kilometer range,
Yeah.
we'll say specifically for the Eastern U.S.,
Yeah.
who would you be most interested in playing? And
Oh man.
who would you be most interested in seeing play? That who would otherwise not usually get to play unless it was a tournament?
Well, I've already played like Shadow and Junior recently. I'd love to play Cuddlecore some more and have some deep sets with her, Lisa. Personally, I'd also love to play Joey. I'd love to play some of the other northeastern US guys. The names are eluding me right now, but names like like Shim Paolo, names like Nashi could be fun. Dante could be fun. Spirigen could be fun. If you want one name, I'll go for I'll say Cuddlecore. In terms of who I'd like to see fight each other, I'd like to see guys like maybe Eddie with the 3Ds and the 2Ys for Online Monster against somebody like Shadow or Placiating. I'd love to see it. Let's say it like that.
What about you, Vante? Who would you play across the pond, and then what would be a match that you would like to see?
So in Europe area,
West Europe,
or
Yeah.
oh
So
man,
UK, Spain, France. I think that's in
Have
range.
you
so
even
many
fought any
groups.
Europeans in tournament before?
Or if you want, if you're having trouble there, West Coast. Who you can get regular games with now? Like, who do you want to play?
Well, on West Coast, I feel like I've played a pretty good amount of the West Coast guys actually, just because
Just from traveling.
I've been out there, a couple
Yeah.
times.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gotten to play Godier, Aki Major, I played
yeah.
Jimmy. So I'm pretty content with West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
But
Have
when
you
you're
ever
saying,
even
like,
played
across
a
the
European in
pond,
tournament?
what's that?
Have you ever even played a European in tournament?
I couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Have you ever played a European in tournament before?
In tournament? Oh man, I don't think so. I would
No.
remember something like that.
Yeah.
I never have. I never have. So I've played Koreans. I've played Japanese players.
Yeah.
I've played, people in the country, obviously, but I've never played a European player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would remember something. You know what? I remember I lost at Combo Breaker. Oh gosh, what's his name? Nivek. The Paul player Nivek.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was saying
Damn.
it for a second, wasn't he?
Yeah, because he's from Europe, isn't he?
Yeah, he's from Greece. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually have played him, and it was funny because when we sat down to play, I was like, okay, I've never heard of this guy. Let's see what character he picks. Oh, he picked Paul. Oh, I'm screwed because we were already deep in that bracket. So if you're that deep in the bracket and you're playing Paul, you're good. There's no question about it. So I was already like nervous going into it. It was a pretty back and forth set for the most part, but he definitely outplayed me and he got the win. So it was interesting playing him and kind of learning about, because he's actually a NRS player and he was just playing Tekken.
Exactly.
Like,
okay. Yeah, he made World Finals at Mortal Kombat 11 last year.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Top 20 world.
So
Tekken's not even like his main thing.
So you got to play a fellow versatile player there. Vante,
that was pretty,
you're not so bad in a couple other games. You're not so bad in Soul Calibur. See, you've been trying lately. You've been doing. You probably approach Soul Calibur the way I do, where it's like it's so interesting and it's so fun and different to try around. But I got a question for you.
What's up?
I don't mean anything sideways here, but I noticed in that Smash GG deep dive there, at the very least on Smash GG, you were always the bridesmaid, never the bride in those Pokken tournaments.
Pretty much.
What held you from that #1 spot? Because you had a few second place finishes there. Did you have just another top 8 that you had to go play and you didn't want to play?
You know what it is just like when there's in that game, if someone's better than you, they're just better than you.
It's a clear cut.
Really hard. Yeah, it's really hard to kind of, especially if they start getting momentum on you. Momentum just kind of snowballs, and then it's just like, guess I'll die, But that's no excuse as like a player. Like that's not me making excuses.
Were you in like bad matchup situations? Was that kind of the common thing in some of those? What was kind of holding you back?
They were just clear better players. A good character. Yeah, I played such a good character that it had nothing to do with matchups. It was just me getting bodied, honestly. Kind of getting content with making it that far. And thinking, oh, well, this guy, I have to beat him twice. I'll try my best, but I don't really think I'll do that. So that ended up happening to me a lot. But
who do you play?
In Pokken, it was Mewtwo and Suicune. I played both. And I mean, I don't practice the game anymore, but if there's a tournament, like there's never been a tournament that had Pokken where I just didn't enter. I always entered Pokken because
you were always
I like
consistent.
supporting the scene. I always like supporting the scene there. Those guys, they love their game. They they love Pokemon, let me tell you.
Uh,
So, and when I was playing back in 2016, I would say that was probably my favorite year as a competitor because that was my first time juggling Tekken and another game being Pokken.
mm,
And I was having a lot of fun, you know. Oh, I just finished my Tekken match. Let me run over here and go play Pokken. You know, that was fun back then because I would always watch like the other guys who were multi-talented and a bunch of fighting games like Sonic Fox and all those guys. And I was like, man, I'd love to be good at another fighting game. And then Pokken came out. They're like, it's Pokemon, but they're using Tekken moves. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play this game. It's nothing's gonna stop me from playing
Do
that.
you think there's a future
And
for arena fighters like that in the FGC? You know, platform fighters are like Smash and Brawlhalla, and I think there's like Rivals of Aether is another one.
Rivals of Aether, yeah.
Like those are finally being accepted as fighting games. They're being called platform fighters versus now we've got
Which is what they are, yeah.
Now we've got anime fighters, 3D fighters, 2D fighters, weapon fighters. You know, do you think that those arena fighters like Pokken and some of the anime games, do you think there's a future for those if the company, I guess, kind of designs it for that, or is it do you think they have to design it for that?
I definitely think so. I just don't think that as of right now. I think Pokken's probably done a really good job because they have a system where it jumps from arena to 2D. But I don't think that there's been like a pure arena style game that's really taken off yet.
no.
But I think if they actually worked a game like that, it could be really good.
Yeah, the
I would play it,
Mobile Boost Gundam seems to have themselves a decent following.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Uh,
definitely.
I just
They
want
have a
Budokai
team for
Tenkaichi
it.
4, man. Budokai Tenkaichi 4, give it to me. I was actually low-key one of the best in world at Budokai Tenkaichi 3.
Oh,
one of the
Yeah.
talk that talk. Let's hear about it. Come
Yeah,
on.
no, there wasn't really much for scene, but I had a sensei by the name of SSJ Siam, and he was like hella good. And he taught me how to do just swing vanishes and like combo breakers and like how to like synergize combos and like loads of little tricks and then it came on to Raging Blast, which is like basically like Budokai Tenkaichi, well not as popular, but it was like on PS3. And there's actually some old sets of me playing him from like 2011, and yeah, it was a tiny little scene, but it actually had like a lot of depth to it,
That's crazy.
and it was
Wow.
hella fun.
So, speaking
Wow.
of depth, there is something aside from Melissa that y'all two share.
Mm-mm.
Y'all both share a love of pro wrestling.
This
What do you
is
think
true.
about, what do you think about the depth of this AEW roster?
Oh man, I love it. AEW is sick right now.
I am so glad you convinced me to get back into it. I haven't been able to keep up
Yeah.
with it, but I try and like just read the blogs now and then, just kind of keep up on somewhat on what's happening. But yeah, Vonta, and the CEO, you had the sick while it wasn't AEW, you had the dope Finn Balor entrance.
The Finn
That-
Balor entrance,
that
yeah,
was
man.
sick.
Yeah.
We were
It was
concerned for
fun.
you when you got on that top turnbuckle.
I was concerned for myself because like it was awkward getting on top. I didn't rehearse that or anything, you know.
Would
So
they
I
have
You
let
was
did
you?
it, man.
Would
It
they have
looked
let you
clean.
if you had been like, hey, can I try real quick a few times? Do you think they would have let you?
No, it literally top 8 started at 10. They opened the doors at like 9:45 or something. It was weird. So it was like
It
I
was
didn't really
really,
have
really
time
weird.
to kind of practice that or anything. But
Nah.
I got up there. I didn't fall, so that's what matters. But I remember like I didn't even think I was gonna make top 8 because I was looking at my path. I was like, I have to fight Yu. I have to fight. It was either Saint or Lohi if they won. I have to fight Anakin. I was like, I'm not gonna get
Yeah.
top 8 this time. I'm just gonna
And then
play and
Rick
have
could just
fun,
body them
whatever.
all and clear the path for you.
Yeah.
And then you
I
bust them up.
So I was playing through my pool. I beat Yu. I kind of bodied her actually. I god matched her the second
Oh my
game.
god.
Yeah. So that was rough. But I'm really confident against Xiao Yu now.
Isn't the rule that you have to retire? Pretty sure that's the rule.
I've heard that she's still playing, so I don't know. Maybe the rules got not a thing anymore.
If
Maybe it's not
if you have enough influence, it doesn't apply.
But yeah, I played her, and then I was like, okay, I gotta play Anakin next, and that was the crazy set when I fought Anakin. Like that set was really good. I ended up beating him, and I was like, okay, I gotta fight Saint or Lohi. But I look at the bracket, and Rick the Ruler beat both of them.
Yo, people sleep on that man, Rick. I keep trying to tell him he is a threat. He is a
Yeah,
threat. An
He has his
yeah.
absolute
So
day.
he
threat.
beat both of them, and I played him, and we had a close set too.
My man is
And then I
Emmy
won.
nominated. He is a threat.
Yeah, yeah. That dude is no joke, no joke. So after I beat him, I was like, wait, I'm in top 8 now. I need to think about what I'm gonna do for my entrance. And I was riding back with my girlfriend home, and we were kind of listening to some songs and kind of getting ideas. And then I kind of just woke up the next morning and was like, I should do Finn Balor's entrance. Because then I wanted to do something that could get everyone involved, everyone that's kind of been there for me, everyone that's supported me and whatnot. And I felt like with the whole like Balor Club is for everyone slogan and all that stuff, I was like, Obscure Club is for everyone. So I could just
Yeah,
do
I like
that.
that.
Just get the Florida guys, all the guys who shared tech with me, Charlie, all these guys, and I just brought them all on stage, and we did it. I just
Good
told them,
job.
hey, at this part of the song, you just like that, you do it a couple times,
Yeah,
and
that was
yeah,
good.
it
That
all
was
worked
fun.
out. I had a good time, man. I had a really good time. Like I didn't do so good in the top 8, but I was just happy to be there, man. I was really just happy to be there. I was in the ring. I got an entrance. I got to fight 2 players that I hadn't got to fight in Tekken 7.
I'm still so sad Chanel picked Eliza on you.
Oh yeah, he wasn't gonna pick Elisa. I kind of
But
figured
it's a
that.
good matchup for Lisa. It's a
It
thing.
is, but that makes the even matchup because it's a good matchup for both of us.
Mm, that's true.
But I think most people know not to pick Elisa against me because I don't lose against that character. I just don't.
Mm,
Um, Even Cuddle, when I fought her at E League, I was like, I hope she picks Elisa. I really hope she picks Elisa. She didn't pick Elisa. She picked
mm,
Xiao Yu when I fought her at E League. That was a couple of years ago, though.
mm.
But yeah, nobody really picks Elisa against me, so that's
I'll pick
fine.
Lisa against you.
I think most Elisa players, actually, all Elisa players have a secondary. I don't really know too many that don't have another character they're comfortable playing in tournament. Even myself, like
Mm.
I could pick Leroy, I could pick Ganryu. Now I'm
Yeah,
hoping
that
to add
Kami's looking clean.
Kunimitsu to that. So I think most Elisa players have a secondary
Yeah.
anyways, so it's kind of to be expected. But man, you just never really run into the Elisa mirror. Like you never see that on.
Nah,
It's kind of crazy.
it's rare.
But
Even
yeah,
Charlie,
CEO was a great
Crossfire.
experience.
Charlie, I think
Mm.
how's it feel to get read like that? You know,
We'll get rid.
he read you pretty hard there. Alyssa player
What?
With some other secondary tournament characters.
Yeah,
You
I've
got
got my
you got
Marduk.
your Marduk. You've got a couple
Yeah,
others who aren't too
I'm,
bad.
I'm gonna. Yeah, not too bad. I'm not sure who I want to bring
Who would you say is
out of
probably
the
your
slot.
if you had to decide between like 2 characters that you would say would be your next biggest threats? Who would they be?
Marduk and Jag, I think.
Marduk and
I've,
Jack.
yeah, Marduk was actually
Yeah.
got me my Marduk got me my Canada top 8 against Black Alert. And then Jack, I've done a few things with Jack. Jack, I won a 1000k online tournament, and I won it with Sardine Cannon. That was
I
fun.
would definitely. I'd be loyal to a character they got me $1,000.
Yeah, with where I got
Right.
the fish cannon. That
Speaking of
was fun.
jacks, this is my jack right here. Hi, buddy.
Uh,
I'm
What's
cold.
Ah,
up,
you
little
sleeping?
man?
I'm cold. I want the Demon Slayer blanket that he's sleeping on, but it's super soft, so he's taking that from me. So,
Yeah, you.
that
I've let him
I
keep
ain't,
that.
yeah, I ain't getting that back. I might have to go. I might have to put a bathrobe on. But
Yeah.
so Charlie, you
Yeah.
were kind of an honorary American in 2019,
I
and
suppose so. Yeah.
it seems like Chanel and with him and King J, Alyssa players all share
King J and Elisa player.
Oh, I'm sorry, not King J, not King J. I meant obscure Chanel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm King J now. Okay.
No, there's a segue to this. King J's involved. Follow me first.
Okay.
There's-
Okay.
there's a-
Okay.
It's follow me first. Follow me first. All right, I'm on drink number. This is actually number 3, so follow me first.
Oh
So-
man.
Charlie and Chanel, when y'all were in the U.S.,
Mhm.
y'all said some things that were stood out to me, and Vontae, as a fellow fast food lover,
Mhm.
this is something that I found
Uh,
interesting. So, when I took a Lohi, Chanel, and I think it was Knee. Might have been Knee. Might have been Knee, Lohi, and Chanel. I took them they want to go to Zaxby's. And Chanel,
Ooh.
Never been to Zaxby's.
now Chanel wanted to eat at as many fast food places as possible. And he told me that fast food places in America are world famous. I'm eating nothing but fast food while I'm here. And I was like, I understand that you're a shaman. That's not a good idea. That I would not do that. I live here.
Honestly.
I live here. I would not do that. And they were like I went to Wendy's and this, went to this place, and the King J's going to come in here a second. Charlie, you've had yourself a nice little tour of American fast food all the time you spent over here. What do y'all think when King J says that Chick-fil-A is trash and that he says he has a problem with the waffle crisps?
The waffle crisps?
Yes. Okay, so
no,
he did not like those.
I'm not the biggest like Chick-fil-A fan ever. Like I don't lose my shit over Chick-fil-A like a lot of other people, but the waffle fries are the best part about Chick-fil-A. Like
they're good. They're
how you gonna have a problem with those? That's the biggest issue with his take.
Waffle fries are Polynesian.
Like you picked he picked like the most beloved. Like he picked the Paul Rudd. Like all white people will fight for Paul Rudd. That's what we'll do. Like it's like don't go after him.
Like,
he's minded his own damn business. Don't go after Paul Rudd.
He could have said his sandwich was dry, or that the sauces were trash,
or that pickles are gross.
The waffle crisps were bad.
Yeah, like he picked the worst possible battle.
I don't agree with that.
So this is interesting here because Lante, I know you're a fan of the fine purveyor of chicken known as Popeyes. You and I are fellow Popeyes fans, sir. Yes, sir. That's I'm spoiled right now. I mean, let me tell you my situation. My lineup is I leave my current house. I go left. I am now exactly a mile and a half from a Chick-fil-A, a Zaxby's, and a Bojangles.
Oh, that's not good.
Bojangles is on my list as well.
If I go an extra mile, I get to the Popeyes. And you better believe I go that extra mile sometimes. So I'm like, that's only 2 miles going both ways. I can do that. That's fine. Yeah.
Ain't nothing.
So what's the tier list specifically for fried chicken fast food in the US? Give me your top 5. Give me the top 5. And
I haven't been to 5.
You haven't been to 5? Charlie, you've been to so many.
Not fried chicken.
Okay, you know what then? What about just top 5 fast food spots?
All right, I'll let Vante go first because he was about to go in.
He's about to bless us with knowledge.
I'm over here deep in thought.
Okay, I'm about to go deep.
Once we expand to like fast food, that's when I'm like, ooh, okay. Now we have.
That's when it gets tough.
Yeah, because there's some gems.
I'm gonna need to open.
Because there's some ones that are like some regional spots that really should be international. Like I've gotten to have In-N-Out Burger. So the In-N-Out Burger, the burger itself is like basic. But what makes In-N-Out Burger so good is the toppings are all fresh. So if you're like a big toppings person, like In-N-Out Burgers, my wife was so happy. She's like, lettuce was crisp, fresh tomatoes, like everything. She's just like, oh my god, this is incredible. And I mean, as I'm eating, I'm like, you can tell, like, you know what, all in all, these are fresh ingredients in general. Like, this is a good ass burger. I don't know if I would, talk the kind of talk that some folks on the West Coast do about it, but I mean, I would definitely defend it. I don't know if I would be the shield. I don't know if I would be the sword for In-N-Out.
Right.
But
yeah, they're in that area, so they always say, "Oh, it's overrated. It's just a tourist place, whatever." But for us, we don't get it as much, and it's good every time we go. For us, it's gonna be top tier every time.
And, like White Castle, people are like, "Oh, that's like low tier." Listen, the quality of the food at White Castle, like that's the kind of food that you got if you went to like a public school that had like a lot of upper middle class people. Like you didn't just have the squares, square pizzas on Fridays. You had like the option, and you didn't have to pay extra for chocolate milk. You know what I'm like?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like the quality of food that you get at White Castle, but it's so nostalgic, and you get so much. You're just like, here's like $15, and they're called, the combos are called sacks. Like, here's a sack, and you're just like, yeah, let's go.
Bro, I need to try that.
It's such a guilty pleasure, and like This is why I'll fight for White Castle. They're probably going to be on my top 5. Might be on the lower end, but they're probably going to be
Really?
on
Damn,
Okay.
really
there.
interesting.
Name any other place that has chicken rings.
Chicken rings, and I don't know, man.
Chicken rings?
Chicken rings. So, chicken rings are
It's been a
incredible.
minute since I've been to White Castle.
So-
That's new.
I'm talking about go back to your elementary school days. Did you ever get like the chicken nuggets that were the rings, so you could like put them on your fingers and be like, dip 'em?
I've never heard of this
I
in my
remember,
life.
White
like, the
Castle
smiley
had
face nuggets.
they don't have the smiley face nuggets. I never got to have the smiley face nuggets at school.
Yeah, that's all I remember.
That's
And
that's
people
when
would put those on their
when you
fingers.
know you're loved. To me, they were like, no, get out. We're tired of y'all. But we did get the chicken rings, and White Castle actually has like chicken ring sandwiches. Which I mean, like when
Wow.
you think about it, it's genius because they're like, we're gonna give these idiots like half of a chicken patty. We're gonna rip the middle out because these morons.
And they're gonna
will
love it.
Yeah, and they're gonna pay full price. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, let me put that right here in front of me.
It's all a scam.
What do you got, Charlie? 'Cause this is
All right.
this is when you tell an American name a fast food spot, we start thinking about like travels across the U.S. You're like, damn, like Whataburger,
Yeah.
this place.
Okay. First of all, I want to ask a question. Do you count Cracker Barrel as fast food? You don't, right?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would not. I would consider it diner. I would consider it the diner class. I would put that-
Okay. Okay, so in my case, you wouldn't consider IHOP either.
I would consider IHOP diner class as well, like Denny's,
All right.
IHOP, Waffle House.
Okay. Okay, that makes it a little bit easier.
The 24-hour primary breakfast spots, especially, or just like we serve breakfast all day, and you can't like sit in a drive-through just mad at everybody. Like when I hear fast food, I think like I'm going through a drive-through and I'm dreading being in a drive-through where that's trapped off with extra curbs, so I can't just pull out when I don't want to get anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, but if I've got to walk in for carry-out or sit down, that's diner food.
I got you. Okay, I think I've got a top 5.
All right, let's go. I'm excited
Just
for this.
about. There's a lot I haven't heard. I haven't been to Whataburger, I haven't been to White Castle, I haven't been to Jack in the Box, I haven't been to Zaxby's, right? Still got a lot on the list.
the
I've only
bucket
been to
list?
Panera Bread once, right? Yeah. I haven't been to In-N-Out. Also, not counting McDonald's. We've got McDonald's everywhere. Everywhere's got McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
But they all have different menus. They have the different specialties.
It's true, they're a little bit different, but the taste is the same. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, the taste is the same. All right. So number 5, Taco Bell. I do love me a good Taco Bell. I need to explore my Mexican.
They disappointed me
range.
with all those items they took off the menu, taking off potatoes.
They've taken some stuff off the menu.
Oh my god, they gutted it. They gutted
Have
it.
they? Oh
Yeah,
no.
they went Dr. Giggles on it. Just
Oh no.
This is
Oh
bad.
no.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's my experience. Maybe if I come again, it might drop down the list.
Maybe,
right?
I don't know
Maybe-
if they increased the quality, but I just know when I saw what they got rid of. I think they got rid of. I know they got rid of the quesaritos and a bunch of other stuff. I heard that they're going to take away Baja Blast for a little bit, but I heard that that's not.
No way.
Yeah,
No way. That'd be messed up.
They got jacked up pretty hard.
Okay. Number 4, Popeyes. I haven't been there enough. If I go there some more, it might go up the list, right? I've only been there like twice. I haven't had the deluxe chicken sandwich yet. Okay, but
You
the
got
biscuit.
to try the Popeye chicken sandwich.
I have not tried the chicken sandwich yet. No, I've tried the
Spicy.
breakfast.
Gotta get the spicy one.
sandwich.
The spicy one's the way to go.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. Number 3, Baskin Robbins. I'm a big ice cream fan. I love me some Baskin
Baskin
Robbins.
Robbins.
That's
okay.
you know what? That's a surprise, respectable pick.
Yeah. If I have that in the UK, I'd explode, right? I wouldn't be able to contain myself.
Did you ever get to try? Was it Cold Stone?
Cold Stone, I've not got to try. I've never heard of Cold Stone.
So what makes them unique is they've got the big old frozen Cold Stone slab, and they pull the ice cream out and they slap that SOB on there and they throw the toppings in it and they like fling it all together and ball it all up.
Man,
You're gonna have to
making me wait.
go to YouTube sometime and look up when we're going through our picks, just kind of idly go to YouTube and type in Cold Stone Creamery. And if we hear you,
Creamery? Oh
we'll
my
know
God.
we'll know what you're watching.
You got me with the word creamery. That's what you get me.
That's such a gross
my
word to
God.
me. Like people that like moist and like cream. I think it's the eam. Like it's such a
Mm.
pervert sound to me. Like ugh, it makes my skin
Oh.
crawl.
No, I love it. I love it, man. That's what I'm all about. I've got a Ben and Jerry's in the freezer. I'm probably gonna have to raid that
I
after
respect
this.
that.
Um,
As long as they have the was it the American Colbert or whatever it is, the Stephen Colbert flavor, I will always
I
get.
don't know what that one is.
Oh, it's got waffle cone pieces in it. It's
Waffle cone. I need to try that one. We haven't got that here. Alright, but let me finish this. Number 2, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A's hella good. They've got good stuff. I may go down the list when I try more fried chicken spots, right? But fries are excellent. The sauces are great. I like the deluxe chicken sandwich. It's a lot. It's got the taste and it's got the juiciness. I like the deluxe. And number 1 is Culver's. Culver's is hella good. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a man of fine taste right there.
Yeah.
That's a man of fine taste. Yeah, what was it? The pulled prime rib sandwich, and the little fried cheese curds. Oh, let's go, Charlie.
Yeah. The frozen pies with the what are they called? Like frozen condensed. I can't remember what it's called, but they're like the pints.
Yeah. If you're an
are
ice
hella
cream
good.
fan, yeah.
Yeah. And they've got some good burgers. We've got some nice burgers.
Okay.
I'm a fan. That's my top 5 right now. I wanna go more. I wanna expand the horizon, but that's my top 5 at present.
What have you got, Ponte?
Let's hear it.
So my top 5 fast food. Oh man, I already knows. I can't put them in order,
That's
but
I'm
I already
in the
know
same boat.
Zaxby's.
You got the
Yeah, I already
cloud. You
know.
got that cloud 5.
As long as you got the number 1,
Yeah.
a distinct
Yeah.
one.
Oh.
So I know
okay.
Zaxby's is up there. Checkers. I love
Hey,
Checkers.
let's go, Checkers.
I'm a
Yeah,
fan.
Checkers.
I'm a fan.
Let's
is up
go,
there.
baby.
Man,
They've got
you can get a box with some chicken bites and fries for like $2, man. It's
Cookout
amazing.
will never
That's
be as
good.
good as Checkers.
Oh, yeah.
Rallies is solid though. I do like Rallies.
I'm in the
Okay,
same
I haven't
thing.
been to Raleigh, so
They're basically like, I don't even know if they're still around, but they were like an upstate South Carolina version of Checkers.
Okay.
They had the Cheerwine contract too.
Okay. Up there as well, Wawa. So I'm from the
Wow.
South, so-
Oh, okay. I
I
like
respect
these surprise.
Wawa
I like
here.
these surprise
Healthy.
places. That is
Healthy.
super
Yeah.
respectable.
Yeah, because I mean it's so convenient. You just walk in, you get your sandwich, and you go. You know, it's super quick. Put it in the little machine, whatever.
We got that
they
in
got-
Central Europe. A few.
Yeah,
few
and
ones.
they got plenty of drinks and milkshakes, all that stuff. So that one's pretty convenient. I like the meatball sub that they have there. So we got Zaxby's, Checkers, Wawa. We don't have many here in Florida. Actually, I don't think we have any in Florida. But Cookout, I love Cookout, and
I haven't heard of it.
that
I mean, I've heard Cookout, but I didn't know it was a brand.
As a man of who understands how you have to stretch a dollar, like Cookout is incredible when you've got like 5 bones to your name. Like, let me get the tray.
Oh, yeah.
Let me get that tray.
It's not cheap. It's definitely not cheap, but a Cookout is up there. I do enjoy that place as well. Man, it's just so many other places. I don't really think that I actually
Popeye's not on the list.
have like a true top 5.
You don't
What's
have
your top
It's never
one?
something that
Is
I've
Popeye's
actually-
not
What's
in
your
there?
top one?
You know, Popeyes is in there, but I was also thinking of
So Popeye's, Zaxby's, Wawa.
actually, yeah, that's 5, isn't it? Yeah, Popeyes.
That's
it.
4. That's 4.
That's
So
it.
Popeye's, Zaxby's, Wawa.
Oh, okay, Cookout.
Cookout.
And Checkers.
Checkers.
Yeah, Checkers.
That's
Damn,
right.
you
so
go.
what's the number
Okay.
one? What's the number
Yeah, I
one?
lost count too.
Get a number one. Get a number one. Which one's the number one?
Popeyes. Yeah, definitely
I
Popeyes.
like that.
Just because Popeyes, it's always been there for me. You know, like I've never gone to Popeyes and just been like, man, it's the worst thing ever. Like it's always pretty much been consistent for me. You know, we have a pretty good one a little further down from where I live. The one closer to me is not quite as good, but there's one further down, and the crew there is real cool. So
That's the
I'm always
truth,
down for
man.
Popeyes.
Good
Yeah,
crew will change everything. We had
yeah, for sure.
there was a Taco Bell 2 miles from where I had used to live, and that they were incredible. It was a bunch of
Hmm.
just older women who were super sweet to you who lived nearby. So you
Oh
pull
That's
up,
yeah,
the
when
good.
they
you
hit you
would
with
pull.
that, hey sweetie, what can I get for you?
Oh my god, you'd pull up just
That's it.
you'd be sitting there in the
It's a
passenger
wrap.
seat just like cross-eyed, just like, and they're like, "What you want, baby?" And I'm like,
You
"A
already know that
hug.
sweet tea gonna
Can I
hit.
have a hug?" And they're like, I can't do that for you, baby. You want tacos? Yes, ma'am." You're like, you just want me to put whatever in there? Yes, ma'am. Okay, you
Yep,
have your
yep.
friend pull you up. Thank you.
Oh man.
If I
They were
had to,
incredible. They took good care of me.
that's right. Now, if I had to just throw in a couple honorable mentions, I was thinking
Mm.
about oh gosh, just to say Wendy's, of course. I was thinking
Hmm.
Wendy's,
Yeah, that's an honorable
and I
mention.
was thinking I guess is Wingstop fast food? I'm gonna consider that fast food
You know what? It's
because
fair. That's fair.
yeah,
Mm.
I'll throw Wingstop in
It's like a
there.
franchise wing place. That
Um,
works.
yeah, yeah. There's another one I had. Oh, Dairy Queen. Yeah, Dairy Queen's
Dairy
another
Queen's
honorable
Mm.
respectable.
mention.
Dairy
A
Queen's
lot of
definitely.
people
Good.
like the food's okay, but like obviously you go there for the sweets, the ice cream, and all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
So
ice
Dairy
cream's good.
Queen's up there as well. So
Mm.
I would say that that's kind of what my list looks like. If I'm like I want to get some fast food, I'm thinking of one of those 5, 6 places. So
I
that's where
gotcha.
my mind is.
I
So
suppose I can do a couple of honorable mentions just quickly. Panda Express. I like with Chinese, I like the quality. I like the
when
variety.
you've accepted that the day is what it is, and you're like, I'm gonna have some Panda Express. Whatever happens to me happens to me.
Hmm. Uh, Friendlies. I only went to Friendlies
Okay.
once, but I really liked it. I liked it.
Hmm.
I went there with Ninja Dogs, and I love Ninja Dogs. He's one of the chillest dudes.
Okay.
I had a really good time there. And there's another one. I think it's called like Bahama Breeze or something.
Bahama Breeze. That's a restaurant
Yeah,
though.
it is a
Isn't
Gotta
it?
sit
restaurant.
down.
Oh no,
Yeah,
Bahama Bugs. Bahama Bugs. That's it.
Oh, okay.
never heard
They
of that.
do shaved ice. I really like the
Ooh,
fast food shaved ice. They're
Hmm.
really nice.
very
Okay.
nice.
Okay. That's not
Hmm.
bad.
My list is gonna be
I'm
pretty basic. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Go for it. Go for it. Let me hear it.
Just and again, no
McDonald's.
particular order. Oh no, that why? Oh, that hurt me.
I wouldn't do that to
That
you,
hurt my
Josh. I wouldn't do
feelings.
that.
White Castle, Zaxby's, Culver's, Chick-fil-A. I'm I'm gonna apologize ahead of time because I'm about to upset some people, but y'all need to hear this, and it's for your own good. Arby's is good.
Arby's is good.
Arby's is good. Actually, you know what? I gotta be fair though. In-N-Out Burger I did like better than Arby's. Would you consider Smash Burger a fast food spot?
Yeah,
Never had
I'll
it.
go with that. Yeah.
Smash Burger. I put Smash Burger at number 5. They got the rosemary,
Damn.
olive oil on their fries or their tater tots.
Ooh.
Mm.
Oh man, it makes you feel classy.
I've
You're
only
like,
Sounded
been there
interesting.
ooh,
once. That was a long time
ooh,
ago, so I don't really
ooh.
have too much.
It makes you feel classy. It's like when you go to Cheesecake Factory and you're like, yeah, this isn't really
Yeah.
expensive, but it is. So like I feel it.
Okay. Okay.
So with
Hmm.
all so I do want to ask. There's a big part of this is that I would definitely want to hear, and it's probably going to be a little difficult here because we're going to have to probably listen to one each here and let you talk off on it.
Hmm.
I love hearing. One of my favorite things to do is whenever we would go at events and meet up with folks is just again, hearing what things are like where you're from. It's always cool hearing
Mm.
about like what do you think about here? Like, hey, do you like it where I'm at? Like, do you want to be my friend? You want to come back and see me? Like, I mean, aside from all that, like, absolutely love, like, just hearing the tales. Like, I love hearing the story about like the killers that like, yeah, it's just like this dude. He comes, he plays, or like this chick that just shows up and just beats the dog mess out of us, and they don't go to tournaments. We're like, please let us sponsor you. And they're like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, I love hearing like just like again like because of the influences and the way they kind of shape who we are as players, how we think, even how we react to things. Like, so and it's really interesting because Charlie, you're in
Mm.
London, of course. You're over in
Yeah.
England,
So
so you've got the UK, but you've also very, very well traveled, not
yeah,
to,
more
across
than
the
I should have.
world. Yeah, and So you've gotten to be exposed to a bunch of different communities. And
This is true.
Monte, you've gotten to experience like two different, grassroots communities. You were in Atlanta prior, and then now you're in Orlando. If you're in Orlando, right? Is it? I know you're in Florida,
Yep.
but I wasn't sure if you
you're
were in
right.
like Winter
Yeah,
Haven or
you got it.
Florida, or Winter Haven or Orlando. It's like I'm not in Orlando. I'm technically.
No, you
Winter
got
Haven. So you went from Atlanta to Orlando, so you've gotten to actually see how things change just on a city to city basis. So like I want to hear about that from both of you, and whoever wants to start, just jump right in. Like talk to us about your experiences with the different communities, how that influenced you, like some of the players that mentored you or challenged you, or maybe weren't even kind to you. If you want to like call them out, I don't care. Like just
Honestly,
give me a little
because
background.
because I've never traveled outside of the states. I'm actually really curious about what Charlie has to say. So
Very
I want to
cool.
see actually how that is
Okay.
and what that's like. 'Cause I don't feel like the guys out there really get as much shine put on
They
them
really don't.
as like the Koreans or the Japanese players or the Americans even. So
No,
I'd
they
love to
really
hear
don't.
like more about how that goes and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Well, it's interesting
Oh.
that you recognize that too there, because I mean, Charlie, I think I might have mentioned to you, and it's kind of something that I've mentioned to a few folks recently. Like the EU has always been the last to receive stuff.
Yeah.
Like you're always at the tail end. It's always like sometimes it's up to 2 weeks after that it's come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
When it
Hmm.
comes to games, yeah.
and so you not only are sitting here watching like folks in East Asia, Southeast Asia who get to have the game for a year and a half, then the Americans finally get it. You've still got to wait maybe up to a friggin' month before it's finally released in the EU. Like now that y'all are finally getting things at the same time as everybody else.
We're still getting scuffed a little bit. Actually, with the T7 Online Challenge, you may know this. A few European countries actually kind of got robbed. They didn't have
Oh,
representation.
I didn't know
Greece,
that.
Austria, Hungary, Croatia, Czech Republic, Russia, they were just left off of the list.
That's
They
Wow, I
weren't
didn't.
in
Wow.
any
crazy.
of they weren't in any of the EU. Yeah,
Croatia, Czech Republic. I know they
Greece.
have seasons. The Greece. How do you leave Greece? Annika like was a top 8 at Evo. Granted, it was Tekken 4, but like
Yeah.
that was
We
Yeah.
had Clash of the Olympians and it was really good, but
and
no.
Clash of the Olympics
Yeah,
was on the
Greece has
tour.
a scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
They were
have a
just left
scene.
off Austria too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's just
Yeah.
like Austria seems like so arbitrary too. Like really, like
Yeah.
that.
Like the connection I understand, but like still we'll give them their own event, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Call it
That's
East
crazy.
EU. I just don't understand it. Yeah. So yeah, it's still happening. It's still happening.
But it's with season 4. How I mean, granted, I know there was a lot of content creators that were upset about how it went about. Um, I hate it for them, but I hope they also understand that this is also the game right now. You know,
Mhm.
in business, it's always about cutting costs of and the biggest way to cut costs is through operations, and that's through labor.
Yeah.
And so getting these social media influencers to do
Wasn't even
promos.
logical though.
I mean, it's a promo, like it's a free promo, and
But
I'm
it's a
not.
free promo to an update. That's the weird thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that makes sense. I feel like it was just some guys in a few particular Namco like social media groups in Europe that just had some favorites and wanted to give us some codes.
But was it
I think-
nice at least to see that Europe was kind of leading for once?
Sure, but I think
It was a
maybe
little
without
bittersweet maybe.
permission, I think they leapt ahead of their own volition. I don't think they had. I think it was an intentional thing. I think I was just kind of doing something maybe we shouldn't have done, based on Harada's reaction.
Well, one thing you've also clarified, when we've talked about the UK community is that there's a distinct difference between the EU and the UK. And we're not even going for like the low-hanging Brexit joke, which
Thank you.
I would definitely.
Thank you.
But I mean, it's very much true though, in a sense, when you think about it, because the UK scene overall is so large and it's so deep.
It's insane.
The talent pool is incredibly deep.
Yeah, I could name like 50, maybe even 100 UK players that you haven't heard of that could all do bits in a tournament.
I would dare
And
say
Wow.
that
right.
London is what New York City wishes they could be.
London is the strongest scene in the West. Stronger than any country, any city in America. Stronger than any city outside of Japan, Korea, and Pakistan.
You know what? I can get down with that.
Uh-huh.
That's that because again, it's an international hub. It's not just
Yeah.
a national hub; it's an international hub,
Uh-huh.
and that's something that it's for a long time. I've been at this for good lord, 20 years, maybe 22 now.
A long time.
Yeah, way too long. Way too long. And one thing that always stood out to me about the EU, especially the UK, because those were the players that had the most, access to the dinosaur, for example.
Oh yeah.
Like, and if that's someone that I could probably like. That's to me, when I think like EU players, I think of two UK players.
Mm.
I think of course, probably the greatest of all time, Ryan Hart. And this is someone who is probably the ultimate Justin Wong defender. If we want to talk GOATs, I will talk Justin all day. But if I really sit down and I look at my personal criteria, it's just like, that's Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan, simple and
Yeah.
plain.
What he does to
You can't,
community.
like,
Yeah.
how, you can't even be mad. Like, it's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, you're
Ah,
right.
you got it. You
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He
It's like,
beat
yeah.
Nobi last year either.
The man is timeless, and
Yeah.
they always say the greatest ability is availability, and that man Ryan Hart has always had the time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He is literally a living classic, but I think of Ryan Hart, and I think of the dinosaur.
Oh man, I love
And,
dinosaurs.
and the reason for that is like, for me, I lurked for a long time. Like I was lurking on the news groups back when way back
Tekken
before,
Zaibatsu.
like before Tekken Zaibatsu, like the alt.news groups and Tekken Central.
Wow.
It was,
That's those ones I wish
sorry,
I
not
could
Tekken
fit
Central.
in.
Electric Cancel. Electric Cancel.
Electric cancel.
Electric Cancel, and just like would Electric Cancel, I didn't lurk so much. I would just kind of like glance through. That's when I first was really kind of finding out about, oh, there's a community here. But when Tekken Zaibatsu came out, I did not post for 2 years. Like I specifically would read, and if I had questions that and I saw the answer was, I would always read the threads because that was something that you always saw back then. It was it was very niche community. It was like read the sticky, like it's in the information.
I
in there.
wish that we had that nowadays. So just a side note.
Don't get me started on the lack
The
of a central
in-depth
hub.
topics. Yeah.
Don't get me started on the lack of a
Being able to
hub.
go back and look at specific topics.
Oh,
Sorry.
you're hurting
Sorry,
my heart.
continue.
It's breaking.
Yeah,
Don't do
man.
this to me. I'm
Yeah,
so
man.
sad now. You took the joy from me. I'm
sorry,
so
I'm
sad.
sorry.
I missed
I'm sorry,
I
man.
missed those times.
I missed it, man.
I love the abundance of information.
Yeah.
I miss the intimacy of the information, though. So
Concentrating in the thread, just calling nobody trash.
yeah, like I and you know what? I have nothing but respect for Bronson. I love Bronson to death. Yeah, people can say what they want about him. He's an asshole. He is. I mean, listen, I'm talking about someone that I adore Bronson. I was, and even after I met Bronson in person, I was still kind of like But 2020 was when I finally appreciated Bronson Tran the way that I should. Here's the thing about Bronson that he probably doesn't want people to know. Bronson is that SOB that goes out and does he is an ass through and through himself, like on the screen to everybody and anyone. That dude has a great heart.
Oh yeah.
Shout outs to him, by the way, new father. He's got a little girl. Shout outs to Bronson. Good for you and your wife. Good for y'all. But that man, even as a new father, y'all, is still active in the Tekken Zaibatsu Discord.
Wow.
That's true.
Very active. Like
This is true.
If it's Julia or if it's a character he plays, he's in that Discord like it's the forums. And when I
Wow.
saw that, that's when I was like, "This is." I got to take notes from one of the greats on this one. Like, he's doing
For sure.
he's doing what we always did, even though it's the new format. I mean, granted, he has that star power to where he can. So, but it's just amazing that he is that accessible. And again, like, I mean, it might be a welcome distraction, when he has to wake up at, when his wife kind of kicks him at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's like, it's your turn. It's you get out. And he's got to go soothe, a little bit, and just got to sit there, start scrolling through the phone. And he's like, yeah, that doesn't work, but it's okay. And he's so nice to the newbies. Like,
He is.
Bronson. I'm not trying to ruin your persona. But I this year I really, like, when I saw that, it just stood out to me. Like, this dude genuinely loves Tekken, and that was one of the reasons why, Vontae, I reached out to you. As you and Charlie were the two of the first people I reached out to, because you said even in the beginning you love Tekken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just
Well, that's it.
and just having that passion, it makes it so fun to talk about these things.
Absolutely, for sure.
And I don't know if we'll get to it during this call. I don't know if it'll be ready, but I definitely want to sit down again with you sometime, Vontae, and talk about that top 25 list.
Top 25? Is this? Oh, NA.
Listen.
I already got all the data and everything.
Listen,
Like,
I will default to I can count on one hand how many people, if they tell me, like, no, Josh, this player is superior, I will be like, okay, Nee, Chanel, Anakin, Jimmy, Vontae.
Yeah, because, like, when you have all the facts right there, people can't deny it, People will be like,
research.
oh, yeah, people will be like, oh, this guy's so much better than this guy. I'm like, but he hasn't done this, this, and that. Like, he's a good player. I'm sure he would beat me if we played. But saying he's better than this player based off of what he's accomplished, what he's done, you can't do it. You can't do it. When they look at the facts, they're just like, all right, man, but you ain't got no life though. So I'm just like, all right, well, if that's all you got, then whatever, But I think that's always been one of my biggest strengths as a player, is that I know everything about all of these players as far as, like, what they've accomplished, what they've done. I never really go into a match not knowing, what I'm getting into usually. So I think that's really important, honestly. I don't think people are observant enough of other scenes and what their players can do, who's there. Watch a Wednesday night fights, or watch NLBC, watch our juicy monthlies here in Florida, watch the 404 nights in Atlanta. All these scenes have their little locals that you can watch and kind of just be like, okay, I'm going to keep my eye out for that guy. He's doing some pretty cool stuff in that scene.
Watch the TNTs at East London Fighters do.
Yeah,
we're doing some bits.
That too, yeah. So I definitely pride myself on knowing a lot about who I'm going against, and kind of knowing about the scene and what people have accomplished. I pretty much know, like, you mentioned this player, I'm like, oh yeah, he's done that, and that at this tournament. This guy is this level, so on and so forth. What character they play, all that good stuff. So
that's
definitely.
That's crazy, because that's one
that.
thing that I thought I was so excited again, not just because y'all are both Alyssa players and you're both pro wrestling fans, but Vontae, out of all the American players, you to me most represent what the European players, again, and most represented by the UK, like how I've always seen them, and having conversations with, I think it was probably Nee back when we first brought him and Nin over. Or it might have been Nin when we were talking about it. But we were talking about the different scenes around the world and how they feel about it. And Way Gamble had asked, God, I wish it might have been JDCR. Gamble would have to be the one to correct me on this one, but he asked them like who's the best at what, and he's just Korea was best at the cheap stuff. Like, we're best at the cheap stuff. We do everything down forward one jab. We'll kill you with those 3 moves. That's just what's going to happen.
Yep.
He's like, they're like,
yep.
Japan has the best offense. Japan
Yep.
will open you up. That's just what happens. That's what they do. And
Oh yeah.
they said Americans have the best guts.
Yeah.
And by that they meant instincts. They're like, Americans just know. It's really like Americans will not play safe. They will not play clean.
There's no rules in a fight. No rules in a
but
fight.
but their instincts, like their ability to just know, is second to none.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know what you're going to
Yeah.
say for European. Go ahead.
They were the smartest.
Yeah, analytical.
Not,
The specialist.
Yep.
They're not even. They didn't even say
Yep.
analytical or specialist. They actually said most technical.
Technical.
They said they were the.
I agree.
They were the
Yep.
smartest.
I
They
agree.
said even more technical than the Koreans. They said the only difference was that the Koreans played so much more that they can actually
Exactly.
put into practice what the Europeans should do. And would
Yeah.
you agree with that? Like, I mean, it sounds like you kind of
I'd agree
already
with
knew
that.
that we were going there. Like, yeah, no.
Yep. I think that we've bridged the gap a lot as well.
I would definitely agree
oh,
with
yeah.
that. Like,
I wanna
I
talk
think
about that.
like our mid tier guys can probably give Koreans a real run now. Like I think of some mid tier guys who've taken games off of people in
They
like versus
have. They've
Rocket.
already
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
You've already seen people like Super Akuma and stuff. Like you've seen a lot of these guys beat.
Not the top tier, but even the mid tier. I've seen like guys who are not even top 10 in Scotland take games off of Japanese players like Pekos
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen, and there's a lot of guys who are reasonably quick.
Yeah, I really do think that the Tekken World Tour has it's really shown that you can't sleep on any of these scenes anymore.
Nah.
You've seen Europe; they've all come up, really big this time. Because I mean, I feel like I don't want to say they were the laughing stock, but people always kind of memed on them, like, oh, they're not worried about them. But like now, you need to worry about them. If
That
you're
is true.
sleeping on anybody out there, like it's a mistake. It's just a mistake.
that is very true.
It also showed with the Pakistan scene when they just came out of nowhere and started bodying us too. It's just it makes me wonder, like, what else is out there that we don't know about?
South
man?
America.
Like, who else is just
Mexico.
hiding in the shadows with the nastiest Gigas of all time?
I've just
Vontae,
heard of
if you
the
want to
Divine Exorcist in Mexico.
I was about to
He's
say,
hella good.
if y'all want to talk to some of the Latin American scene, listen. Before I
That's
started,
another one.
Before I started talking to Pakistan, I was advocating for Latin America. There are some amazing.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna go on the record right now. My favorite Tekken 7 Kazuya player of all time.
Nene the Dragon.
My man,
Nene.
my man, Nene.
Yeah.
Fearless.
Yep.
I have
I've
never
seen it.
seen anybody like instant, like misstep into the full crouch roll kick, like
Oh,
as their
yeah.
primary. I've never
stylish.
seen
He's
a
clean.
Mishima player like. Vontae, did you get to play Nene at all, or watch him when he was here? Especially like towards the end of the tour, he
Yeah.
started showing up.
I was when you mentioned him, as soon as you said that your favorite Mishima or whatever, I was like, so yeah, he's gonna mention Nene the Dragon.
Yeah.
So I forgot the name of it. It was the pre-DreamHack tournament for Atlanta last year.
Was it the was it the 404 one, or was it Atlanta Battle Opera?
Atlanta Battle Opera.
Okay.
That was it.
I
It was Atlanta Battle Opera.
Yo, shout outs to Pokechop and Shola and John, like,
Oh,
and
man.
everybody
That was
else
a
that
fun
helped us
event.
out. That
was so fun.
sick.
I love that
And
event.
shout outs to the Red Bull cat as well. I think his name was Christian, Anakin's manager. He helped out a lot with getting that venue. Like, that shit was dope.
Yeah, that event was awesome. And I actually played Nene in tournament at
Damn.
that event. And literally,
It sounded
as
so
soon as the
fun.
match started, yeah, it was fun, man. As soon as the match started, round one, I've never played this man in my life. I got counter hit by down 4-2, and he went for the perfect elect. He didn't get it, but I was like, this man's a monster. I immediately stopped pressing buttons, and he was hell sweeping me. I was scared. He had me traumatized the rest of the set. I probably took like 1 or 2 rounds, and he bodied me. It was hilarious.
Damn.
It was fun to get the opportunity to play someone like that.
Yeah, man.
And he was a really chill, cool guy. He was just like, oh yeah, take your time, because I was getting set up, putting my, get my buttons set up and everything like that. So I would love to see him play more often. Honestly,
it's crazy you mentioned that too, like just the fearlessness that he played with, because that's very much like if you look at Latin American players like Abel, Roy Nietzsche, Prezi, all them dudes like Jackson 5. Fearless. We got to see when Tekken rules. When Alexis's hip hop, El Negro,
Fuko.
and Fuko. Oh man, Fuko too. They're fearless in the way that they play, and it's kind of crazy because it's to me, it's almost like it's crazy how Tekken especially almost mimics boxing, especially in terms of international styles. And Charlie, I want to hear from you on this because I know I know Vontae wants to hear more about the UK scene and just the thing, especially with London too, because of all the exposure y'all able to get with all the international comings and goings. But when I say with boxing, and shout outs to that man John, the Saint, the reason this podcast is even able to happen tonight. Because John, I'm not gonna lie, if I wasn't able to get everything up and running, I was gonna call you and be like, "Can I please have you stream tonight? Thank you."
We got to happen.
Oh man.
I'm about to have Adrian mad as shit at me and be like, "You SOB, you've taken my husband from me twice this week. Not a third night. Not a third night.
Not this time."
Oh man, y'all think I'm joking? I'm dead serious too. I'm about to be like, "John, please," and I was ready for him to be like, just as disappointed at me as my own dad is, be like, "I gave you that computer how long ago and it's not set up?" Be like, "John, please help me. Please help me."
It all worked out though. We made it work.
Just telling the chat, he's already, dog, you already know. He was he's been giving it to me too. Like the last, like as soon as I got in the house, he was just like, I don't care what's put away. The house was the last goalpost. You cannot move them further on me. He knew me before I even got. He threw that shit before I came in the goddamn house. I was amazed. He hit me with the Black Dynamite mix up. But but with the going back to the whole stylistic things, shout outs to John again. And John definitely as a combat sports enthusiast as well, someone with experience. Like, I mean, are either of you boxing fans by chance or MMA fans?
I've watched a bit of MMA, but I wouldn't
very casually.
Yeah.
So and especially in boxing, there's stylistic differences, considered internationally. European style is considered very technical. Jabs, 1-2s. That's where you see the Vladimir. Not even just the Vladimirs, the Klitschko brothers, the Lomachenkos. Very, very technical. Lomachenko is kind of more of a hybrid boxer, in my opinion. But then you've got the American boxers, where our athletes are insane. Like, insane. Like, it's just... And not only is their athleticism off the charts, but their fight IQ is off the charts. They're able... It's crazy, Hajime no Ippo, they had Brian Hawk, and one of the big things was he was so awkward and he could punch from different angles. That was one of the things about the most elite American boxers. Like, it doesn't matter what angle it's coming from, you're going to get hit. But then you have, your Latin American boxers where it's the machismo. It's the get in tight, and light them up. Where you see your Filipino boxers are very similar to that Latin American style. It's get in, pop, 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 and you don't back up. In Tekken, you see almost a scary similarity there. That fearlessness of an Nene. Just the natural fight IQ that Americans have. That was one of the first things that blew me away when I got to play Vontae, because I had heard about him, and that's why I put myself against him in tournament. I'm like, he's supposed to be a really good online player. He's living in Atlanta.
You put yourself against him.
Dog, I needed to go. I have to get the fastest route to losers to get out of the event. That's why I respect it. That's why I put myself against JDCR. That's why I put myself against. It's not just because that's the only way I'm going to get to play good players all weekend. It might be, but I work hard. Damn it!
I'll let you have this one. We love you, Josh.
Thank you. Let me have that. But the fight IQ of the American players, the technicality of the European players, like. Is that something that you noticed as you were traveling and kind of getting to see all these scenes? And is that something that you get to see? And do you think that because of the nature of London as a city, that gives the UK especially such an advantage to where they can gain that exposure to those different styles?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I would even say London has a style. London's like the melting pot, right? Like, I had a conversation with Helst about how, like, New York was like the the melting pot of America, right? With all the different ethnicities and cultures there. London's like a melting pot of styles. You've got Kane and Trench, who is ultra defensive, reactionary style. You've got Asim, who just does whatever the hell he wants and somehow it works. You've got Shikamaru, who's a bit more rago, relies on his reads. You've got Kawis, who like studies the game like a madman. You've got a View of My Fancy style. There's so many other players, right? And they all have different distinct styles. But overall, I'd say they all specialize in a unique style. With London, with a London player, you're gonna get their own brand, right? I think it's harder to like summarize into one particular thing, but I'd say London players and also EU players definitely pride themselves on knowing, generally speaking, everything there is to know about their character and how to deal with, how to overcome the weaknesses of their character, right? Like Kane and Trench, he'll flash things you never knew were flashable, right? Like Shikamaru, he'll do right punch parries on things you didn't know could be parried. Yeah, that kind of thing.
What makes the European player situational awareness so good? Like, what is it about it? Like, is it just? I mean, are y'all just do the lab work?
Yeah, we just love the game. We grind it out.
You have the superior education system to. Your public schools are better than ours. Is that what you're telling me?
I don't think it's that. I'd say it's trial by fire. Like the first year and even the first 2 years, we were like at the bottom of the barrel. Like Americans could like hero call and just play the way they play and still do pretty well. It took us a while to catch up, and I think that's because we had to learn how to adapt and how to like optimize situations. Like Super Akuma, it took him a while to master that character and really start beating everybody with him. And he had to learn how to play him in certain matchups and what to do in certain situations. We have to, we have to lose to a situation enough times to decide to lab it deep, and then we don't stop until we find a solution.
Do you think that with the improved netcode that Super Akuma might start getting the respect he deserves?
Well, Super Akuma,
because now he should be able to execute in theory. I'm hearing
that's true.
He should be able to execute now.
That's
and
true.
That,
well,
if anybody's a victim of online, I would imagine that it's Akuma players.
Probably. It gives and it takes, right? Depends on the kind of Akuma player you are. Like, but recently we've seen Y from Poland, who has a slightly different Akuma style, and I think it's harder to defend against those 50-50s against a Polish player. And that's not throwing shade, that's just the way he plays, right?
The Polish players are very heavy 50-50?
I wouldn't say Polish players, I'd say he specifically is heavy 50-50. Yeah. Poland is also like a bit of a melting pot of styles. They have
really,
well, not melting pot of styles. I'd say they're all specialists in their own way. Like you've got Tenschmitz, who's super defensive and honest. You've got, Devil and Matt JF are brothers. They don't play too much anymore. You've got Frizen, who's super specialized. You've got Y, who's specialized. They're all specialists.
And it's crazy too. The EU, y'all have so much exposure to even the odd off-brand characters. You've got players like the Phantom, for example. Like you've got. And then you've got. We've already mentioned. Oh my God, how am I forgetting? The UK Yoshi player. Kane Trench. I feel so bad. I could see it. Like I could actually see the word in like my head. I'm like, I can't read. But like, even that was the other thing too. That was one of the reasons why I guess maybe that the rest of the world saw y'all so technical is that they would play these technical characters at a high level. Yeah. And when we would all interact on forums and such, like the communication, it was incredible. Like the knowledge that they had and how much work they were putting in, just like it really felt like y'all were getting the short end of the stick for the longest time. Mm-hmm. And is there any other communities in Europe that you would consider to be anywhere close to the UK in regards to the melting pot, getting that exposure of different styles, having all those specialists? I mean, you mentioned Poland as a spot. I mean, they've got is it Versus Fighting that's out in Poland?
Fighting Game Challenge.
Fighting Game Challenge.
In Poland.
And then Headstoppers in Sweden, correct?
Yeah, in Sweden. Yeah, I'd say the next strongest areas are definitely Paris, Berlin, Napoli in Italy. Napoli. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Italy
And
Tekken
then,
has had a lot of players for a hot minute. Are they still pretty active?
yeah. Yeah, they're still pretty active. I'd say I think UK overtook Italy as the strongest European nation last year, and I think that's because I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think it was Galanda who said that they're not like together as a nation. Like the players, like the younger
Oh,
players aren't like as they aren't
Hmm.
willing to put in the practice and grind it out and learn from the older players or something like that. They're like not as and the older players are not willing to put in the outside of like Bode and Galanda are not like I don't know, they argue with each other more than they help each other. It's what I've heard.
so you see that it's more of an individualist rather than community based.
Yeah, like some of those guys are very high. They have strong egos.
I mean,
They're
that's
very proud.
and we're seeing that worldwide. I mean,
Hmm.
do either of you gentlemen see like any way to answer that? It seems like new folks are so focused on their own personal brands. They're focused on themselves,
Mm.
and that's people in general. People in general are selfish by nature, and that's understandable. But
Mm.
the lack of community. I mean, is this because that it's so decentralized now? We communicate through the big social medias like Twitter and Facebook rather than using a more centralized hub like Tekken Zaibatsu. Everything's on. Go to this Discord now if you want to get this information. You know,
Yep.
do you think that that's a little bit of it? Because
I'd
it's
say
hard.
it's a
It's
big
hard
part
for
of it.
me. It's hard for me to say that it's the online nature because I mean I
It's not online.
yeah no
It's just a way of
I knew y'all
who's gone.
through online and
Mhm.
I've learned a lot of things from y'all. So it's like okay, it's definitely not because of online because you can still get everything you need. Like yes, sir, John. Speaking
Instant
truth,
gratification.
it's the instant gratification. And you see his question there: Are the EU players? Are they more specialists opposed to
Um,
more overall skill?
I'd
What do you think
I'd
about
say
that?
we've got a mix, right? Like you can't say that guys like Super Akuma and Ken Trench don't have overall skill. I'd say they're all excellent at like they're specialists not just in their characters but also in how they play fundamental Tekken. Like Asim is an overall one, but I'd say he's even more Pakistan style. He hasn't picked up a lot of the European style, surprisingly from being here. Same with Tishimon. Like there's guys who are very just overall solid, like say Doug from Paris,
I like Doug from
Kalak,
Paris. Doug from Paris is a lot of fun to
Devon.
watch.
I had a fun interaction with him. He gave me some hate mail online.
Oh
For he said
no!
there's a block button. Don't you know how to use it? That was I was picking
Hmm.
Heihachi against his geese, and I was hitting him with a few
Doug,
red tricks and Kane one back twos.
Doug. He's a German player, isn't he?
French,
French player.
yeah.
Doug Lees.
Doug from Paris.
Like
That's
from
right, Doug from
Paris.
Paris. Not Doug from Munchen. What am I talking about?
Doug from Paris, Josh. Doug from
I'm so
Paris.
table.
I wasn't
Quite a
even.
few
I
people
wasn't
had
even
very
listening.
similar hate
Like
mail.
I said, that American education system failing us every day, every day.
Yeah, I'd say we've got a mix, right? I think we've got some specials. We've got some overall strong players who just want to specialize in fundamental Tekken rather than in a character, right? Who want to specialize in Tekken and their style, their answer of Tekken, right? Who see Tekken in a certain mindset, right, and want to solve Tekken their own way. I'd say. So you've got character specialists and you've got Tekken specialists. I would say.
Ah, I see.
If that makes
The
sense.
Tekken
Yeah.
specialists play everybody under the sun.
They play at least a couple of characters and they have their own mentalities of how to solve Tekken and how
That
to
makes
solve certain matchups in certain situations,
that
certain
makes sense.
play styles.
So, what about? So, can you give us a little insight then into the at the very least the London scene, like some of the history that y'all have? 'Cause, I mean, I know we mentioned that, dude. I will swing on someone on the dinosaurs' behalf, like when
Oh man,
because
dinosaur's great.
because like what I it took. It's funny, like my story is really kind of silly in terms of how I finally really became part of the community because I always was the guy that when I go to parties I sit on the outside and I observe everything for like the first half hour to an hour and then I'm like all right, I don't want to go over there because I'm going to fight them. I'm going to fight them too. I'll definitely fight them. That person's cool. I'm going to go chill with them. You know,
There you go.
Exactly. You know, I get my read first. You know, I try and get. You know, last thing I want to deal with is an awkward interaction, and then I have to hear you like talk shit about me, and then I gotta hit you with your own picture. Like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to do that. You know, it's your house. I don't want to hit you with your own picture in your own house. I do, but I shouldn't.
No,
But
I got you. Self-control.
But when like I said, I had no need to post because a lot of times, like, I would read a lot of his posts, and a lot of his posts would answer things that I was already thinking. Like, I would be, you know, scrolling through a sticky, and then I'd get to one of his posts, and it'd just be like, okay, there's no reason for me to answer. And the only reason that I registered on Tekken Zaibatsu was because in February of 2002, at that time, Tekken 4 had been around already since September of 2001. And so the game had been out for almost 6 months.
I was 4 years old. Sorry. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh.
I don't want to share anymore.
Sorry, keep going. This is why his name's Dinosaur, right? That's the thing. He was a dinosaur back then.
And people call me Icege. You're not helping. You're not helping, Charlie. You're not helping me. This is not helping me at all. Just
2002.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Sorry, I was playing Tekken then.
Hold on.
I was playing Tekken.
I got to do my Narcos pose. Just.
I was doing. It's all right, Josh. We still love you.
Thank you.
We need you.
Thank you.
We need
you haven't squeezed all the blood out of this rock yet.
There you go.
Oh, man.
Oh my god. Oh, that knocked me. I don't even remember what we were talking about. I was hurt so bad. What?
Dinosaur.
Oh, he would he would have a lot of stuff. So, but the only reason I registered on Zaibatsu then was so that I could ask him, like, hey y'all, I've been playing around a lot with trying to crouch cancel out of Veltudo stance to try and continue an offense, and while I can't really get anything offensively, I'm finding some neat little combo video type stuff. Has anyone else tried to use it? That was literally one of my first posts ever on Tekken Zaibatsu. Was asking people about if they had ever considered crouch canceling from Veltudo stance. Which then, about maybe 2 months later, a Japanese combo creator did a combo video where they were Veltudo canceling, which I had already been doing since like October of 2001, and that's when people were like, "What do we call this? Do we call it prison stepping?" They called it prison stepping for a long time, and I think that might be why I'm still around to this day. So long as Marduk exists as a character, I will be here to make sure that we call it Veltudo step canceling.
Yes, VTSC.
VTSC.
Innovator over here.
Lowercase c.
I'm here to make sure that our vocabulary is consistent. That's the only. That's
there
it.
You go.
It's because
the real reason Josh is stuck around.
That and I like to make people fight for my entertainment. It's like I'm a little Caesar, you know. It's just like But you know, it's all that said. You know, what's the history there? You know, you've got players like the Dinosaur. You've got players like Ryan Hart. I mean, and you've got this international hub. Like, you know, who are some of the unsung heroes? You know, for example, you know, everyone knows Super Akuma.
Mm-hmm.
But how many people know about Bambino? Do you know about Bambino, Vante?
Nope, I don't know a thing.
That, from what I'm told, that's one of Super Akuma's primary sparring partners.
He is.
So he's nasty. And in fact, I think he did a recent. I think he was part of the France vs UK event, wasn't he?
I believe so. Yeah, he did pretty alright.
Yeah. So I mean, like, who are some of like the hidden killers that y'all have? Like, who are some of the unsung heroes that you would say?
I can tell you.
Oh, this is what I love to hear. I get a kick out of this stuff.
So of course there's Eddie. I think you guys have started to hear about Eddie now.
Oh yeah,
he's probably the best in the UK at the moment.
Really?
Then he's ridiculous. He's outside of Kane and Trench, who hasn't been playing since he's on PS4. But he and Kane and Trench are like the top two, and then Shikamaru are the top three for sure. Right
wow.
And you've got guys like Immortal Soul, really strong fundamental Raven player. You've got guys like Kirby, one of the strongest in Scotland, really strong Paul player. You've got Lokole, who's been around just as long as Ryan Hart. He was originally Swedish, competed in the Tekken 3 national championships. He was in that little promo video. He's still playing with Valet. You've got Bonus Jim, really strong Nina. You've got Joko, really strong Mishima training partner of Chikamaru. You've got Bakri, a Marduk player, really strong training partner of Chikamaru as well. You've got Kanza, really strong Lars player. You've got Dawn Yeager, originally from Greece, but now currently living in Bristol, I believe.
Wow.
You've got Sin from Birmingham, really strong Geese player. You've got ISMB, really strong Bear Gummy player from Glasgow. You've got Bolt, best Noctis outside of Asia. Extremely strong defensive style. One of the dark horses I think is going to make a real name for himself in the near future. You've got Risky Like, excellent Claudio player. You've got DJ Vu, excellent Jack player from Glasgow. You've got E Minor with amazing Eliza. You've got Sync, really strong young Lee player, 19 years old, really strong. I'm just on the tip of the iceberg. This is just like the guys who are off the top of my head who have been playing recently. Only Gingerbread, really strong Gigas player. He's really nice. He doesn't go for full charge mix-ups. He goes for other kinds of Giga styles. He's got really nice Gigas. He actually beat me. Arsene Wenger, really strong Miguel player. Been playing a bit of Dragunov recently. You've got Lisandro, who's gone completely under the radar. A Portuguese student living in the UK. Really strong with loads and loads of different characters. You've got Abominable, excellent King player. You've got Mr. Practical, really strong Icege. He hasn't been around too much recently. You've got Cores, really strong.
You've listed more players in some people's entire communities, and they're all hidden killers? Jesus Christ, no wonder y'all are so strong. And Vante, are you hearing this like the spread to the versatility, like the character representation here?
Taking notes.
Just UK.
Y'all get the matchup exposure. That's wild.
You've got Chang Bang, really strong Northern Irish Julia player. You've got some really strong Northern Irish players. You've got Senor Farfara. You've got Iris John Marduk, really strong, crazy Marduk player. Yeah. Even my local scene, my local Brighton was a very small city, but really nice. The two strongest players actually left, and they were they emigrated recently. One was a Lithuanian Gigas player, and another was a New Zealand Raven player. And they were the two strongest players in my local.
That's so crazy.
And they both have left now. Yeah.
That's a true melting pot. You know, it's funny because you said that New York was the melting pot of the U.S. I mean, I would say that was the case maybe back in the 1800s, and into the case, and from a socio aspect as well. Like that's definitely from a cultural aspect for sure.
Cultural.
But it's kind of ironic, and Vante, feel free to disagree with me here. Like when I mentioned earlier about like the international styles, even then there's still. In my opinion, there's still regional differences amongst the styles. I always found New York to be a very heavily in-your-face sidestep or counter-hit heavy style, where their game revolved around when they were up close in that range zero. You had to deal with was it going to be movement or were they going to try and stuff something?
I thought of like 10 more names.
That is Fab.
Was that?
I immediately, when you describe that style, I immediately think of Fab. Honestly, that's the first person I thought of.
That's how a lot of those players, like they had guys like Stringer, Maddox. They got a lot of they've had OGs in New York for a long time, and that was something that really stood out to me because, Vante, you were in Atlantis, and Atlanta has a very huge influence on the southeastern U.S. and the way that we play Tekken. Even in South Carolina, like people would be surprised to hear like the Carolinas have their own style, like. The Carolinas play like people that succeeded from the nation. They play like people that don't care. That's just that's how we play.
I believe that.
Yeah, like South Carolina, North Carolina players, they just gonna do stuff. Oh, you know what? They play like they're 48th in the nation in education. So okay, once you treat us like that, and you're like just back up, they're gonna swing themselves out. That's we do. We're like, all right, do you want to go to Waffle House now? We can go to Waffle House, but I got to beat you first. Okay, can you win?
I've still never been to
I
Waffle House.
You're missing
I
out.
immediately think of Ace Unlimited. You mentioned that.
Ace
The
Unlimited.
jump back up 4-2s, like, or jump back Raw Rising 2. Like, come on now. Why does it work? Why does it work?
Don't know, man.
Listen, the jump full crouch while standing mix up is a Carolina specialty.
Oh my goodness.
That is
that's
you
crazy.
could tell they from the Carolinas when that's what they do. And
It's so low IQ that it's high IQ.
it is
Yeah.
because when you
Yeah.
see it, you can't help but like actually like you short circuit.
Your
You're like,
brain's just like, what the hell
Yeah.
is going on? Why are you in
Especially
the air?
in
We're playing
tournament.
Tekken.
you know, that's like, you know, when people get mad, they're like, you know, you use mustard in your barbecue sauce. Carolina mustard is delicious. Vinegar is okay and all, but it's not that great.
Yeah, y'all are doing things different over there. I don't know, but it's working though. It's working. So
Like, but
hey, you do your
I
thing.
kind of want to try
You do
it.
your thing.
yeah, but Charlie, do you see something similar in the UK scene, or is it really like that international like coming together that you just happen to naturally see so many different styles that you don't really there's really no purpose or need for regional styles?
Yeah, I'd say we don't really have regional styles in the UK. I think we've got strong players everywhere. Like there's a bunch of strong players, and even like Scotland, you've got Peaceman, you've got Graham, really strong Brian Peaceman, really strong kind of arena player. You've got I'm not going to keep going, but I thought of like 5 more names from Birmingham who are super strong, a couple more from Wales, a few from the southwest of England, a bunch of names in Manchester and Leeds. And then, like, I thought of 10 more names in London just while we were talking. That's like, it's crazy. I'd say we've gone a little bit more solid, a little bit safer. We still sometimes do some dumb things. We still sometimes do things we shouldn't. We still sometimes choke in clutch moments. But depends on the player.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I'd
yes,
say we didn't really have distinct regional styles.
Warren, am I doing us like that, or am I telling the truth?
Say one more
my
time?
my friend Warren had popped into the chat. Was like, wow,
Yeah.
he's a fellow South Carolina player. He's like, wow, Josh, that's how you do us. Wow, it's like, am I lying? I'm not lying. If I'm lying, I'm flying.
I've seen it too. I don't think he's lying.
And you've gotten to play.
He's saying it out of love. Though.
You've gotten to play our the pride of Carolinas. I think Vontae, Nina, the upstate player. He plays a bunch of different characters. He plays Jin, Shaheen, Nina as well. Hopefully he like goes back to Nina and sticks with her. I really like his Nina. His name's Fabian as well.
Fabian, I've heard of him.
Fabian.
He played somebody. He played Shadow at CEO on stage. That's when I was dancing with 2 drinks. You might not have been
I
there.
vaguely remember.
You probably
I
may
think I
have
know
been
what
making me
you're
an
talking
ass of it out of myself, but he's very much, he embodies the Carolina style, but it's much more crisp and a lot more reflexive. But I mean, like, would you agree, disagree? Like, what have you noticed, Fonte? Like in terms of like the regional styles in regards, because you're well traveled when it comes to the U.S. Like nationally, you've been all over the country and you've gotten to play pretty much everyone. Like, do you keep that in mind when you play people? Like, this is all right. They're from this area, so they might have this particular way of playing.
Yeah, I think there's definitely regional styles for sure. I think when it comes to like overall like playing solid, like just solid Tekken, I actually think the West has that out of everyone here in America. I think the West plays pretty. You got guys like Run It Black, Jimmy J Tran.
Yeah.
Those guys play just really solid, honestly. I played Godier, Aki Major, the Brian player. They just play solid, you know. I mean, yeah, you've got Rip. Rip just kind of does whatever. He's having a good time. But those guys are just really solid. Ricksta, I think Ricksta is really solid as well.
You've got the guys in the Northwest as well, like Just Frame James.
Just Frame James,
area.
yeah. I wish he competed more in Tekken 7, man, because I don't think that he's really shown us. Because he plays Law, but he also plays Yoshi, Noctis, and Bears.
Yeah.
And it's like the weirdest characters, man.
Weirdest.
Random fun fact about me is Just Frame James is the first person who ever knocked me out of a tournament. So my first tournament, I lost to Fernando, the game, and I lost
he got you too?
Just Frame James.
Damn.
Yeah, he got me too.
He got me at East Coast
Yeah.
Championships. I got ninth at East Coast Championships way back in the day, and Fernando was who put me out. And I kid you not, when I lost to him the second game, I didn't realize until the final round that it was he was up on me, and I got revenge on him a few months later at MLG Philly, but that was the first that was a real eye opening moment. That was a pivotal moment for me as a player because I went up there and I was feeling myself. I was like, I'm from the Southeast, like
adrenaline kicked in.
And I was not respecting him the way that I should. I was looking ahead too. I was like, I'm gonna bust Brian H's ass next because I had actually just given what was his name, Mr. I can't remember the full name. I'll have to ask Techie and Brian, but there was a cat that I knew in Jersey, and I told him like, look, all you got to do to beat Paul in 5.0 is sidewalk left. He's got 3 moves that'll catch you. Demo Man, the sweep will hit, but the elbow will miss. He's got that back 2, but he's got to be deep for that to hit. And then he's got down 1+2, which, again, is launch punishable. Just sidewalk left on this man. Pick Steve, sidewalk left, and then hit him with the infinite. I was going to do that to Brian without hesitation.
You had it all figured out.
Oh, because I saw it work, and I wasn't even coaching him actively during the match. I was like, oh, if he got you with this, I'm going to mess you up. And then Fernando blew my back out, so that didn't happen.
Yeah. So can't sleep on anybody, man. Can't look ahead. Don't ever do that in the tournament. Just focus on who's in front of you. It's not over until you see KO on that screen and you're shaking their hand. That's when it's over. It's not over just because they have a pixel and you have full life, especially not in Tekken 7. Oh, God. But definitely don't look ahead. That's my advice for today for y'all.
So we're probably gonna have to wrap it up here soon. I've got to go I got to go be a family man. But
man, we've been at this for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
now.
And it's funny because my wife asked me like, "How much longer are you gonna go?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And then I saw her writing a note angrily, and I'm like, "You know what? I'll be done in 15 minutes."
Was she writing that note? I already know. Wrap it up.
The first note came with a couple winks. The second note came with an eyebrow raise. So I'm like, let me read this situation here. But before I go, I guess here, what is something that y'all would like to see, not just in Tekken, but from the FGC as a whole going forward? Like, what do you if you could change? Maybe one of those. We'll make it corporate for a second. Forgive me for this, but what would you change? What would you keep the same? What would you do different? I hate that because the what would you do different to me is what would you change, but who cares?
Yeah, I get it.
The only one I know right now is what I'd change. I was going to think of a stay and do different.
I think for me, the thing that I would change
I'd change COVID.
Yeah, that's a good one. I would change COVID.
Can I do that? Can I just snap COVID out?
There's vaccines. There's vaccines next in April. I can't wait.
I guess for me, it would probably be I would definitely change the current direction that we're moving to individualistic branding rather than communities coming together, being together and uplifting each other, making each other better, and just being there for one another. Some of the best people I've met are through Tekken. That honestly is why I still do this, is because some of my best friends, some of the best people I've ever met who inspire me day in, day out have been through this. So I ask myself, how can I try and provide? Working at a tournament and doing brackets is the least I can do for everything else that I've gotten out of this. So I would change.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. But I would definitely change people's concern with what they've got going on, and have them focus not even on their immediate circle, their immediate clique, but just what can they do to what is their legacy going to be? That's to me like the way you do something, the way you work, that's your signature. Like if you do quality work, that's your signature on it. If you don't do quality work, that's your scribble on it. So I definitely so I guess for me, if I had to change anything, it'd probably be people taking more pride in what they do and spending less time bitching about it, hoping that they can flame a developer enough to change it.
So I think what I'd like to see. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
so you finish
that's
up.
it. I'm good.
Okay, I say what I'd change. I think I'd like to see some more communities mesh together. I mean, I'm always a fan of that. I like seeing unique matchups, like seeing unique partnerships, right? I like seeing. I think a lot of little communities like stick together and do things for their community, and it's like, and that's great. And I think it's in online, it's kind of essential. But I also think, I think there's a lot of potential in the online to like have commentators in different regions do different things and like and learn a bit more about each other's communities. Like that's been a big part of this podcast. I'd like to see, I I'd like to see. I don't know. I think, I mean, at the same time, you can't have like big tournaments. Like I know some, like I've been watching some like the West and East Coast NA tournaments, and I've been seeing some complaints of like connection issues and all that jazz. So I think you need the mix of both, right? I think you need the regional tournaments, so you also need the exhibitions. I mean, the Netcode's better now. I'm kind of rambling a bit. Sorry about that, but like, yeah, I think I'd like to see. In terms of change, I'd like to see with the Namco to official tournaments especially. I think the exhibitions are great. I think the online tournaments themselves weren't so great. I think the regions weren't great. They were not thought out amazingly, especially in Europe, I think. And some of the Asian ones a bit odd, like Indonesia getting its own tournament, that kind of thing. I mean, Japan and Korea obviously makes sense, but I don't know. I think I'd like to see somehow more natural opportunities for all the
I have to
different
pee so
scenes.
bad. If you want to keep going, I go right ahead. I've
All
been
right.
holding it for like 30
I
minutes.
think that I think I'm about done.
I'm so
I think that's about it.
Vontae, I'm so sorry that I gotta go pee when you start talking about
All right.
things.
Go ahead.
I'll be
Go
quick.
do
I'll be
No,
quick.
you're good.
Oh man.
You're good.
Please carry me. Carry me
Okay.
home.
Oh
We gotta carry
man.
the stream.
All right, let's do it.
But I guess I could answer the question now. Wait,
Go
what
for
was
it.
he was talking about?
What to change? What to keep the same, and
Oh,
what
what
you
would
do
we
different?
change? What we keep the same?
I
Man,
don't know
that's a
what.
tough one. What would we do different? I'm kind of with him on like change and do different. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Um, I kind of agree with what you were saying though, Charlie, about
Mm,
online tournaments can be better and whatnot. And I think what Josh said too about people coming together and whatnot, I
yeah.
think that's important as well. Um, I, my easy answer would be change COVID. I wish I could do that.
Yeah,
That's
man.
been the biggest issue for the scene right now.
I'm hoping it starts
Um,
to pick up a little bit next year. Maybe
yeah, I
mid
know
or
some places are doing like local things,
yeah.
very small local things. I don't think we should be doing that in
No,
America
I
yet,
don't.
but that's just my
No,
opinion
no, no.
because we're not handling it the best over here.
No.
But I think that would be a big change I'd like to see. I want
Yeah.
people to do what they need to do. I need people in the FGC especially to realize that they need to do what they need to do. I'm gonna use this opportunity to say this. Hey, we need to social distance. Y'all need to wear your mask.
Okay.
Y'all need to make sure you're not
Reach it.
interacting with people as little as possible
Yeah.
so that these numbers can go down and we can finally start getting back to our events so
Okay.
we can
Just be
get back to our
responsible.
money matches and
Yeah.
seeing each other, going out to eat and all that. Man, don't you
Yeah.
miss that shit, man? We miss
You've
that
gotta
so much.
wait. It's
Yeah.
not gonna come
So
back until it's safe.
yeah. So I want us to all do that.
Uh-huh.
That would be the big change I'd like to see from the FGC because I know there's been some people in the FGC with a big following. I'm not gonna say
Mm.
who. 'Cause I feel like people know, but there's been someone in the scene with a big following that has been on the whole "this isn't real" thing, and we
Oh,
don't
I
need to
think I
worry
know who's
about it.
mad. Do they start? Does the name start
Yeah,
with G?
and and that doesn't. We don't need that.
No.
We need the leaders to actually, whether you think it's real or not, we need the leaders to mention it so that we can fix this and get back
Exactly.
to our events. So
Exactly.
that would be the biggest change I'd like to see. I'd like to see the FGC put all of their effort into helping fix this,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Welcome back, Josh.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back.
You missed
I
my
feel
whole
better.
little there you go. There you go. Missed my whole little political mini rant. I was just saying, I guess too long, didn't read. I just want the FGC to kind of do better as far as like COVID restrictions and stuff, so that we can
Definitely.
all, yeah, so that we can all get back to seeing each other again. So I know there's some people that aren't doing exactly what I'd like to see them doing. So
Mhm.
we all just work together on that.
That's
I know
not
it's
political. That's
way it
health
goes
related.
way
That's
beyond
not
the
political.
FGC.
That's
Yeah.
health. That's
Yeah,
and but it makes sense because I mean, again, what at the beginning here I said that I wanted to remember what it was like to talk to y'all, like to go to the events and be able to sit down and
Yeah,
hang
man.
out with everyone, like, and we
yeah,
can't, we can't do that, and if right now, and
I didn't even
right.
need. I need
So
to
you're
finish
right.
my
That's
fast
that's
food
that's
list.
health. That's health, buddy. That's not even political. That's
yeah.
just simple health. If someone tries to tell you it's political, they're a moron. You can tell them you're dumb as shit.
Yeah, that's what I want to see the FGC do different. I know that there's been some places doing like small events here and there, and it's different in other countries because I know some countries have it pretty, it's not 100%, but it's a lot better. Here in America, we still got a lot of work to do over here.
Mm.
We're still breaking records over here. It's like, damn it,
Yeah.
America, you don't have to be first in everything, okay? Like Jesus. But that's the biggest change I'd like to see. I'd like to see us do that differently. I'm just gonna put those two together. As far as what I'd keep the same, I think that I'd like to just see people continue to enjoy fighting games because the passion hasn't gone anywhere. People are still playing fighting games. You can go on Steam and look at the numbers. People are playing Dragon Ball. They're playing Street Fighter. They're playing Soul Calibur. They're playing Tekken. The Pokken guys are still playing Pokken. Smash is still getting DLC. That game has like 70 something characters, 80
Yeah.
maybe. It's crazy, you know? So these games are still getting updated. They're still getting, love from the developers. And I hope that that stays the same. I want to keep that, we have to keep playing these games. We have to keep supporting them, keep buying the, DLC and whatnot, don't complain when there's DLC. Buy it, If you don't want to buy it, if you can't afford it, that's fine. But get the DLC so that we can keep supporting the scene that's probably struggling a lot right now. We are struggling. It's not even a probably, We got we got hit pretty hard by the COVID thing, and I want us to still be around when all this is eventually over. I don't want this to last forever. Nobody does. I want us to still be able to have a hype, announcement at Combo Breaker or something, I want Harada to come up on stage and troll us and all that stuff, man.
Hmm.
So I want us to keep supporting games and keep, doing what we can to show that we do appreciate the developers. We appreciate the guys in the scene, the commentators who are still commentating these events, the guys running, what is it, Bud Light and all that stuff, Tendo
Oh yeah.
Media, all those guys. So let's just keep doing that, keep showing support, stay strong. And once this is all over, man, all I can say is that first major, when tournaments are
Oh
back, is going to
man.
be insane.
People are going to
Oh my
jail.
goodness.
People are going to go to jail. You
Yeah.
know that, right? We
That shit is.
we
I'm
we
gonna
get
play
we getting
nonstop.
arrested. We
I'm
got
not
we
gonna
got- we
stop
gotta
playing.
have
Yeah.
we gotta have bail ready because ain't nobody getting out on PR bonds. That ain't
Oh
happening.
no,
That's not.
that is gonna be the
Mm-mm.
most lit tournament of all time. I promise
Can
you.
you
If it's an
imagine?
Evo
Uh,
returning under a new administration or
I was
whatever.
about to say, like, if could you imagine if it's like an Evo or a combo breaker? Like,
Oh
Oh
man.
my goodness, it's gonna be crazy, man. Or like even like a CEO or one of those events. Like it could be a Big E event. Like it's final round. I see you with the shirt, Josh. I
Mm.
was honestly between us and the stream and everyone else that might watch this later. I want it to be final round
I
personally.
appreciate that.
I would love for it to be final
Mm.
round
I appreciate
because
that.
I need to come.
final round was I feel like the first event where we were like, oh shit, this is really starting to happen. Like we're starting to miss out on our events now.
Yeah.
And final round is a tournament that's important to me because it's the first tournament I ever went to. So honestly, if it ends up being a final round, if we somehow made a big turnaround within the next couple months and it was final round, I'd be down for that. But regardless, I just know that that next tournament's going to be insane, and I can't
Oh
wait.
yeah.
Gentlemen, it has been an absolute blast. Thank you so much, and I hope that those have been chilling with us. Thank you, by the way, for those who have been hanging out and contributing. Thank you again, John, for making this all possible. Um,
Shout out to John.
dude, I miss
No.
y'all. I miss y'all so much. Like,
Yeah,
We
this
miss you
sucks.
too,
man.
This
man. I
sucks.
miss all
Like,
you guys.
and it's. I mean, luckily, I'm at that. I think I'm at the middle age part now. It's 30. Hold on, how old am I? Am I 38 or 30? I'm 37.
Only
I'm
middle
37.
age if you want to be.
Man,
37 now. I just had to think about it for a minute. I'm like, hold on.
Yeah, only middle age if you want to be, dude.
You know what? So I'm not middle aged yet, but when you start to get up there in years, the days kind of go together pretty quickly. Because I mean, I'll be honest with you, it feels like just 3 or 4 months ago, I was sitting in there in the hotel room with Charlie, like sitting there, disappointing him. He's just sitting there. He's like, "Here's a dude I learned all this Marduk stuff from," and he's an idiot. He's a full blown idiot.
Yeah,
and he's proud of it. He's unapologetically an idiot. And I think, but at the very least, I think you came away from that weekend understanding, like, it's okay if I have a brief moment of stupidity because this man embraces an entire life of it.
Yeah, pretty much. That's quite I like.
Like,
And you beat me too. That's the thing.
That's the best. And so I have to ask you this: is it worse that I'm laughing and having a good time even when I'm getting hit with combos?
No, it means you're enjoying it. That's the best thing of all. If you can enjoy losing, then you're winning all the time.
Yeah, I've been told that's the worst part. It's like, I hate comboing you. I've never seen somebody enjoy it, and it makes me drop my combos. And I'm like, I'm happy for you though.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Oh man.
But yeah, this has been great, Josh. We'll definitely have to.
Awesome.
I want to sit down and definitely talk about like the American scene and like the top 25, top 30.
That's something I definitely.
I'd like to see how it's
That'll be a
changed in
good
online.
I'm gonna have to definitely get Charlie back in here too, so we can. So he hasn't even blessed us with the knowledge of how terrible American chocolate is in comparison to the UK chocolate.
Oh, dude. Well, actually,
those bars
you
gave
guys
me,
poured out dairy milk. I'm heartbroken.
You man, you blessed me with those chocolates that you left. Like,
Yeah, very nice.
I went home and I looked at my wife and like, if you bring Hershey's in this house, we're gonna have problems. I'm gonna be very upset. I will be offended, madam. Offended. But gentlemen, again, thank y'all so much. I'm glad to see that y'all are still here and doing well. I can't wait. I can't wait to see y'all again soon. And I can't wait to talk to you again soon. I'm probably gonna, and I can't wait to play y'all. I can play on PS4 and PC now, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, there's so much we can do now, man. So just hit us up. Let us know what we're gonna do moving forward. We'll be down, man. Figure it all out. This was all.
I'll probably hit y'all up in the near future for like exhibitions or all kinds of nonsense.
Oh yeah, I'm down. We still need a commentator to get with Josh one day.
Oh man, I would. That'd be so fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk to my boy Ed. We're gonna talk to that man Trace Complete and be like, "Can please, man, please." But if y'all happen to know of anyone who you think would be a lot of fun to see on here talking with us, tell them to hit me up. Because I don't know who's gonna be the next one. I've got 2 weeks to figure that out.
I've got a few people in mind who you don't know, but I've got a few people.
I'm down to talk to anyone and everyone, just because it's. I love this part of tournaments and just being able to meet people that have a similar passion, and getting to know them as people as opposed to just players. Knowing them as players is fine and all, but I have to know people. I have to know someone as a person. That makes sense. Because you can never have too many good people in your circle. That's why I talked to y'all off the rip. I was like, hey, please,
That's it.
Again, thank y'all so much. I mean, before we go, I got to make sure if you got any, who's, we'll go. We'll start with Charlie, and then we'll hit you up, Monte. If you got anything to plug, a Twitter, social media, a team, websites, whatever you got, you got a book coming out, whatever you got going on. And just before that, if any of y'all out there watching want to start sending your boys shirts, hats, or whatever, I'll wear your product on here, and I'll talk you up. I can never have too many T-shirts.
Well, my Twitter, Shirdel7221. I haven't gotten rid of the numbers yet. And in terms of like what I'm doing at the moment, I actually work at East London Fire is working with the NYC Tekken guys on Lockdown League Northeast. So we have the Lockdown League, which is like region locked round robin, invitational with like some really strong UK guys. And now we're bringing that format over to the Northeast, and it's looking pretty good so far. I had a first week of pretty strong Commander and Ty did bits. Having our second week, we've got Nashish and Paolo.
Oh wow!
Competing Yukio, Reno, Fear of Silence, a few other names in just that week. And then round robin pools, when it goes to a top 16, is like a mini league. It's pretty fun. So we've got that going on Sunday, each Sunday. We're on NYC Furby. That's what I'm working on at the moment. Yeah. That's what I've got going on.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, big work. What you got going on, Vontae? What you want to shout out? Hey, got to get the social media on there. We got to get those followers up.
Right now, I don't really have too much to plug. I think right now my biggest thing is just making sure I can get a PC so that I can play with all these other people that are enjoying season 4. That's been my biggest goal. You can follow me on Twitter at ngobscure. Follow BDG Esports. It's BDG_Esports. My sponsor, they've been really supportive and understanding during this hard time because I was one of their players, and obviously right now things are a little different, but they're still doing big things, so definitely give them a follow. And I think I may end up streaming in the next couple of hours, so if y'all want to follow my Twitch, ng_obscure, go ahead and do that. And of course, I'm going to plug Josh. Follow him on Twitter at Icege, ICEGE, because he's the homie. He's been supporting the scene for years.
Too long.
Too long. I'm just grateful to have him. Grateful that he's been, taking care of us, taking care of the scene. So definitely give that man a follow.
I appreciate that. Thank y'all again so much. Please continue to be safe. I cannot wait to see y'all again. I cannot wait until we can finally just get food again. Even if it's sitting in silence at a table together, just being like, this food is so good. I miss
just
that.
Crying.
I miss
We're
that.
Just,
I miss that. Yeah, just like, this is so blessed. We're so blessed.
That's Take care, that will work.
Yeah, y'all have a good night. Thank you so much. Night, y'all.
Y'all be safe.
Good night. Bye. Did you turn the stream off?
Did I turn the stream off? Hey, so I'm gonna swap over here to the audio let's see here, video capture device. I'm just now learning how to do this stuff. All right, I failed on that, but either way, thank y'all so much. You guys have been incredible. I had a lot of fun. Shout outs to Shirdel and Obscure, that man Charlie and Vontae, and of course John as well. Warren, so much love. Thank you for supporting. Shinpushi and Kowtow, like y'all are awesome. I really appreciate everyone here. Hopefully we'll be here in 2 more weeks. I'm hoping to do this every other Friday. I'm still trying to figure out some guests for the next go around. I'm thinking about, I'm gonna give a little secret here. I'm thinking about reaching out to one Joey Fury and Magnificent to hear a little bit about the upstate New York scene. Also thinking about if I could talk to that man, the Soul Dagger, hear a little bit more about the Pakistani scene because he knows a lot. But again, thank y'all so much, and your boy's on PC now, so hey, I might have to actually start playing instead of just DQing people. But much love, y'all. Take care. Bye.